Dude, that thing is big, whatever it is.
أنا في في ظهر العروبة لو سمحتوا
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Classified Captures. Steve here, and today I've got a collection of clips ranging from alleged sightings to clips of Santa Claus and otherworldly reptiles found in our plane that might just leave you shocked. Sorry for my croaky voice, by the way. I have a little bit of a throat infection, but I didn't want to wait till I was better to be able to get this video to you. Anyway, I hope you're ready. Let's jump in.
لو سمحتوا يا جماعة التنانين بتلف حوالين العمارة عندنا لو سمحتوا بعد إذنكم أنا في في ظهر العروبة لو سمحتوا التنانين.
And no, you aren't seeing things. This is actual footage. At least that's what the one who uploaded it said it was. To give you a bit of context, a lady was out at the beach relaxing until she caught a glimpse of that. The creature to her looked like something that belonged to a prehistoric era, as it had a long body with wings resembling those of a bat, and yet somehow retained a bird-like appearance. It was almost as though she was looking at a dinosaur soaring through the sky. But that shouldn't be possible, right? They're extinct, or at least they're supposed to be. She uploaded this seeking clarity, and as always, different opinions were flying left and right and center. When it got to our studio, Julius, the ever-skeptic, suggests that this might be a cleverly constructed model, perhaps something built to mimic a creature from the past. What's even more shocking is the fact that Aaron, our conspiracy theorist, is tempted to side with Julius on this. Weird, right? Anyway, you guys have seen it. What do you think?
لو سمحتوا يا جماعة التنانين بتلف حوالين العمارة عندنا لو سمحتوا بعد إذنكم أنا في في ظهر العروبة لو سمحتوا التنانين.
Next, we've got this photo that was taken by a man driving home late at night. In the darkness, standing on two legs with glowing eyes fixed directly on him, was a strange creature at the edge of the forest in central Kentucky. The creature appeared dark and foreboding, with its eyes shining in the night, and its silhouette hard to make out clearly. But it definitely stood out against the backdrop of the trees. Many people who have seen this photo are divided on what it could be. Some believe it might be a bear, but the shape and posture are unusual for that. Others, particularly those intrigued by the paranormal, are not so convinced. They speculate that it could be a Bigfoot, given its size and the fact that it doesn't resemble a typical slender creature. Still, others suggest it might be another type of cryptid entirely, something yet unidentified and mysterious. Looking at this, it's hard to come to a definite conclusion. The eerie glow of the eyes and the dark, bulky figure certainly add to the sense of mystery. What do you think? Still on the strange and bizarre, take a look at this next clip. Pay attention to the fingers. Did you see it? His fingers all of a sudden turned the other way. He even had to drop his pet out of pain. When Aaron sent me the link to the original post, he titled it Ghost Attack, and the moment I watched the clip, I knew why. Many who saw the clip also shared similar views. They believed that this was nothing more than a ghost attack at the supermarket. I find that highly debatable, but nonetheless decided to check the comments section of the original post. Take a look at some of the things I found. This guy stated he had experienced similar. Another mentioned that his pet was probably the way it was because it saw something the man didn't. Others tried to point out that it was nothing more than a finger cramp. You've seen the clip as well, so what do you think? As you share your thoughts, take a look at this footage. The clip you're watching currently was recorded by a man named Todd in a part of the woods he refused to disclose. Why, you ask? Well, if it isn't obvious already, it's because he believes what you're seeing on your screen is actual footage of Bigfoot and he recorded it himself. According to him, he's seen this humanoid ape-like creature a number of times in the same area, and he's built differently. From its structure to its fur and facial features, although they have some semblance to that of an ape, they at the same time do not look like that of an ape. Based on this, and this alone, he concluded that's Bigfoot. I've looked at this clip several times, and I must say that this is one of the clearest clips we've got of a potential Bigfoot candidate. But is it really Bigfoot? I'll leave that up to you to decide. While you decide on that, permit me to ask, are you familiar with the TR3B? If you aren't, then today is your lucky day. The TR3B is a subject of conspiracy theories, often described as a secretive, triangular-shaped aircraft developed by the US government. Allegedly, this craft uses advanced anti-gravity technology, allowing it to hover silently and move at incredible speeds. Sightings of such triangular UFOs, especially in the US and Europe, have been linked to the TR3B, with many believing it was created using reverse-engineered alien technology. Yes, alien tech. This theory is bolstered by the idea that it was developed as part of a classified military project, possibly at Area 51. Despite its popularity in UFO and conspiracy circles, the existence of the TR3B is widely disputed. There's no concrete evidence to support the claims, and many experts suggest that sightings attributed to the TR3B could be misidentified aircraft or natural phenomena. Additionally, the technology described in these theories is considered far beyond current human capabilities, leading most to regard the TR3B as a myth fueled by hoaxes and misinformation. But is it though? Ha ha. Still on the subject of UFOs, take a look at this. When was the last time you saw a cloud move with a light source in it like that? Aside from that, if you look closely, you'll see what looks like a force field around the cloud as it moves. The individual who posted this online was shocked and weirded out by the whole thing. He wanted answers, but Aaron stated that sometimes things are just what they look like. There's no explanation needed. And by that he means that if it looks alien, then, well, it's definitely alien. What say you? Imagine being out in the wild and coming across this. What does it look like to you? Almost everyone I showed this to was convinced it was a snake. Others thought we were looking at the belly of an alligator or croc that was somehow turned over in the water. Looking at it, I guess I understand why they think that, because for a second I thought so too. I have my answer now though, but instead of telling you, let's see if you guys can figure it out. 1, 2, 3. If you thought dog, then you're right. It's a dog.
Hey! What are you doing over there?
A man was out in the park with his child when something strange happened. The child suddenly turned toward the trees nearby and pointed as if she had seen something. The man, curious and a little unnerved, called out, "Who's there?" while recording the scene on his phone. As he cautiously approached, he noticed movement. There, retreating in the shadows of the woods, was a pale, eerie creature. This wasn't just any creature, it was hunched over, its body bent in a way that was unnatural, and the most unsettling part? Its hands. They were extremely long, almost dragging on the ground as they moved silently away. The creature moved so quietly that you could almost miss it, slipping back into the darkness of the forest. But the man caught it on camera, just enough to leave us all wondering, what could this be? A cryptid lurking in the woods? If you love seafood platters, then this next clip is yours to watch and enjoy. You and I have to agree that that's one big boy, right? Well, according to the one who uploaded the clip, in the deep shadowy ocean where light barely reaches, myths speak of enormous sea crabs that wander the abyssal plains. These massive creatures allegedly have claws that can break steel and shells that are resilient as the strongest armor. This, according to him, has been the stuff of nightmares for sailors' fears for centuries. Ancient stories suggest they once protected a lost underwater realm, an awe-inspiring yet terrifying place hidden far beneath the surface. Some legends claim these crabs grow as large as islands, with the power to sink ships and drag them into the abyss. Others declare that these crabs carry the islands on their backs. We're not told how the individual allegedly got the footage of crabs that can grow that large, but we spoke to some experts and they told us the crab in the footage is nothing more than a spider crab. You can't imagine my disappointment when the news was told to me. Anyway, what do you guys think? Could there have been an iota of truth in his tall tale? Share your thoughts in the comments section. I know we've seen a lot of things on this channel, but it's clips like this that always have me asking, what the hell is that? I mean, this does not look like any natural occurring animal species on our planet, at least the ones that we're familiar with. This looks like a blend of bat and wolf. It also appears to be humanoid, which brings to mind ancient and mythic creatures such as vampires, werewolves, and even the Dogman. You've seen the clip yourself. What do you think we're dealing with here? It seems we can never go a day without new footage of a strange object in the sky. If it's not an orb, then it's some kind of craft. This time a man was in his apartment, gazing out over the city lights, when he noticed something unusual moving in the sky. Instinctively, he grabbed his camera and started capturing images. What he captured was a craft, at least that's what it appears to be. There's a long blue light running along the bottom of the object, with smaller red lights dotted its edges. The craft itself is shrouded in darkness, making it impossible to see its shape or structure. Only the eerie light formations are visible against the night sky. But what do you make of these images? Is it just another piece of evidence of something otherworldly, or is there a more mundane explanation? If you are someone with a taste for exotic cuisine, then you might want to try this out. This is suo dui, which basically means suck and throw away. The meal is prepped with these pebbles, so they basically absorb the flavors of the ingredients being thrown into the hot pot. And no, you don't eat them, you suck on them, as the name implies. They also complement the taste of whatever is being prepared. In this clip, we can see the rocks are seasoned with chili, purple perilla, garlic, and rosemary. It's quite the spice fest. And the good news is you don't have to worry about bringing back the stones. You can suck on them as much as you want and then reuse them if you want. Bold men apparently invented this to cater for days and seasons when they had less to eat. Necessity is the mother of all inventions, after all. Is this something you see yourself eating or preparing? Let us know in the comments section. Still on strange foods, we've got this.
Ay, pero por mucho, ¿por qué hacen Mira. Mira, hasta hacen aureolas. Estoy diciendo que mira qué humo hay.
Now, for this one in particular, I've got no answers. I mean, it's not every day you see a green sauce giving off lighting or electricity sparks and sending smoke to the atmosphere. I have no words for it, sincerely. If you have an idea of what's going on here and have answers, then please do share them with us in the comments section, as we'd love to know.
¿Por qué hacen Mira. Mira, hasta hacen aureolas.
Estoy diciendo que mira qué humo hay.
Dude, that thing is big, whatever it is. Sweet.
A man and his family decided to spend a weekend camping in the woods, eager to enjoy some quality time together. The first day was full of fun and adventure, and as night fell, they began preparing to settle in and sleep. But just as they were about to drift off, they were startled by strange, unsettling sounds echoing through the woods. It was loud, almost like a howl or a deep growl, and it went on for what felt like an eternity. The man, sensing that something wasn't right, quickly gathered his family, urging them to the car as fast as they could. Some who've seen the footage are convinced that what they heard was the call of a wolfman, while others believe it could have been a Bigfoot lurking in the shadows. But what do you think? Could it be one of these cryptids, or was it something else entirely?
Dude, that thing is big, whatever it is.
Still on strange creatures in the dark, take a look at this clip we found on one of our paranormal platforms.
Something's under my house.
The clip starts off with someone stating that there was something or someone underneath his home. He makes his way there, and there are balloons light up in a straight line leading toward the dark parts of the lower section. Naturally, he was weirded out by this, but that's when he saw it. There were two beady eyes belonging to a small creature down there he couldn't really see. The eyes reflected in the light, and that's all. He was wondering what the creature was, which is why he uploaded it online. Looking at the clip in its current form, it's hard to say what that is, but if the clip is really genuine, like they're making it out to be, then this has to be a paranormal creature. The big question now is, which exact one? I don't have the answers currently, but I'd love to hear your thought. What do you think we're dealing with here? Next, we've got a clip of a child sleeping what appears to be her baby cot. There's a baby cam rolling, and if you pay attention, you'll see it. A cloud of smoke or fog appears to hover over the child. It moves around for a little while, and then the clip ends. The one who uploaded it believes the cam captured a spirit that was visiting the child. Now, there's no way to confirm or disprove that, but it's a common hypothesis people have anytime they find such white, ethereal, and foggy movements or characters around their babies. If you're an avid follower of this channel, then this is probably not the first time you've seen a clip like this. What do you personally think about these kinds of clips? What do you believe is actually happening in them? Share your thoughts in the comments section. I had to watch this clip several times to try and understand what's happening in it. The ground appears to be at the mercy of something very large moving through and on it. After multiple viewing sessions, I'm tempted to believe it's a large snake or some other type of reptile. The individual who uploaded it didn't give much info or context to the clip. He expected us to piece it together and also refused to state where he recorded it. The big question now is that really real, or is someone just playing games with us? Let's just say, if that's actually real, then those that live around the area are in some serious trouble, wouldn't you agree? How far would you go to protect your home? Well, don't answer just yet, as our next clip promises a sub-lethal approach. Take a look. This is a turret created by the company Sub-Lethal. Get it? They never get it. Anyway, the turret can be installed on any part of your property you deem advantageous. It comes with controls and a system that allows you to fire rubber rounds to keep intruders away. They have a tear gas option if you find the rubber bullets a bit too extreme. If you ask me, though, tear gas is a bit much, but anything to keep your home safe, right? I can see this becoming handy during a robbery or even a riot. Do tell me, though, is this technology something you would use, or would you prefer a more traditional pew-pew? Stepping away from all that violence, we turn our eyes to a man that keeps a list of the good and the naughty: Santa Claus. If you blink twice, you might miss it, but thank God for replay in slow motion. Do you see it now? There's something or someone in what looks like a sleigh with reindeer moving through the sky at lightning speed. Who do we know that fits the bill? Yes, Santa Claus. But how? He's supposed to be a figment of our imagination, right? Something told to kids to help them act right for their end-of-year gifts. Well, it turns out that's not the case if this clip is to be believed. What do you think, though? Is Santa real? Let us know your stance and the reason for your stance in the comments section. While you do that, it looks like I need to have a conversation with my parents. Imagine being at home and expecting a lightning strike based on how the weather has been in the last few hours or days, and then seeing something like this. Looks like a spell cast by a witch or warlock, right? Or am I the only one thinking that? Anyway, I did some little reading around and discovered that this couldn't be further from the truth. It turns out that this is called ball lightning. If you're like me, who was confused when I came across it, a ball lightning is a rare and mysterious atmospheric phenomenon typically observed during thunderstorms. It appears as a glowing spherical object, often ranging in size from a few centimeters to several meters in diameter, and can last from a few seconds to a few minutes. The glowing ball may move erratically, hover, or even pass through solid objects, sometimes accompanied by hissing or crackling sounds. Despite being reported for centuries, ball lightning is still not fully understood, and its exact cause remains a topic of scientific debate. Several theories have been proposed to explain ball lightning, including the idea that it could be a type of plasma, a result of chemical reactions in the atmosphere, or related to electromagnetic fields generated by lightning. Another theory suggests that microwaves created by lightning might form a stable, glowing sphere. Due to its unpredictability and the difficulty of studying it directly, ball lightning continues to be an elusive and intriguing subject in atmospheric science. But what if science is wrong and there's actually someone casting spells? You know what? Never mind me. Let's move on to the next clip.
Вот я, простой американский президент, смотрю на всех этих роботов.
When the clip started, did you think that was real? Well, if you did, at least for the first second or two, then you aren't alone. Personally, after the first 5 seconds, I started to suspect this was not real, and once the lady approached it and lifted a part of its head off, I knew I was a pro at determining when something wasn't real. Moving away from my little joke there, you have to wonder if there aren't advanced versions of these things already moving around us. This would explain many of the strange behaviors and actions we've featured on this channel with regard to public figures like politicians and celebrities. What do you think, though?
Вот простой американский президент. Смотрю на всех этих роботов.
This next one made my skin crawl. So if you're someone who can't stand seeing things eerily moving together, you might want to skip ahead for about 45 to 60 seconds. Now that's the disclaimer out of the way, so take a look.
What's that? What's that, brother?
What do you think this is? When I first saw this, I didn't know what to make of it until I visited the comments section of the original post. It was then I saw comments like these. Now, I'm no expert, but they may be onto something. There is a real chance that these are indeed worms. If you're here and you work with worms or bait or anything of that sort, can you confirm if that's the case? Thank you in advance.
What's that? What's that, brother?
What do you think is actually happening here as well? For a bit of context, we've got some meat, or at least part of it, moving on its own. It appears to be freshly cut, which has me wondering, can freshly cut meat move on its own? Well, the answer is yes. It is possible for freshly cut meat to move on its own. This could be due to residual nerve activity. After an animal is slaughtered, the nerves in its muscles can remain active for a short period. If the meat is very fresh, these nerve endings might still send electrical impulses, causing the meat to contract and move. This phenomenon is more common in certain types of meat, like frogs' legs or fish, where the nerves are particularly responsive. Additionally, factors like the application of salt or changes in temperature can stimulate these nerve endings, triggering muscle contractions even after the meat is being cut. While it can be unsettling to witness, this movement is a natural and temporary reaction, not an indication that the meat is alive. It's simply a result of the biological processes that continue briefly after death. I had to take a mini science course for this one, so a like and a sub at this point would be great. No? Imagine you're out at night and you see this. What's your first reaction? For me, this has got to be a trick question. I am, of course, running out of the place, but not for filming. Somehow the person got closer to get a much better view of everything. Strange if you ask me, especially given the fact that this was recorded at night. What if the creature came to him? How would he have defended himself? How would he have escaped? Well, that didn't happen, but it could have. Obviously, we're dealing with a snake here, but which exact snake and why is it moving like that? Any herpetologist to help us out will be reading.
Okay, stop. Am I crazy? That is not a sun. Look at it. I can't zoom anymore. But look at this. This is not the sun.
When the sun is setting, we usually see a beautiful display of golden, orange, and yellow hues. But why does the sun look this way? A woman was out driving during sunset and captured an image of the sun that showed these incredible colors. This image is particularly striking because the sun appears red or pinkish, creating a surreal and stunning view. The science behind this phenomenon is quite interesting. As the sun sets, its light has to pass through more of the Earth's atmosphere compared to where it's overhead. The atmosphere acts like a filter, scattering shorter wavelengths of light, blue and violet, and allowing the longer wavelengths, red, orange, and yellow, to dominate. This scattering effect is known as the Rayleigh scattering. Additionally, particles in the atmosphere such as dust, pollution, and water droplets can further scatter and filter the sunlight, enhancing these vibrant colors. This is why the exact hues can vary depending on the weather, air quality, and other environmental factors. So while the sun might look red or pink in this particular image, it's all due to the fascinating interplay of light and the Earth's atmosphere. At least, that's what the science says. What do you guys think?
That is not a sun. Look at it. I can't zoom anymore. But look at this. This is not the sun. I am 41 years old. I have never seen the sun look like this. Am I crazy?
Around so I can work on it a bit. You hear that?
This man was deep in the Alaskan Triangle, a region notorious for its mysterious and often eerie occurrences. He'd set up his tent in the middle of the wilderness and was working on something late at night when he began to hear some strange noises. Let's listen closely. The sounds outside his tent were unlike anything he'd ever heard before. It was like two very large animals were giggling just beyond the thin walls of his shelter. Initially, he thought it might be wolves, but the noises didn't quite match up with what you'd expect from those animals. The Alaskan Triangle is known for its many reported sightings of Bigfoot, leading some to believe that what we heard that night could be something far more mysterious. You heard the strange sounds, right? So what do you think?
There's a UFO in New York City, y'all. Yo, it's a UFO in New York City. Yo, look at the beach. Yeah!
Here we have another UFO sighting, this time in the heart of New York City. A driver stuck in traffic noticed something unusual in the night sky. A bright glow was emanating from behind the clouds, and as he zoomed in with his camera, it revealed a peculiar horizontal arrangement of lights. But what could this be? As if the sighting wasn't strange enough, a large ray of light suddenly shot out from the glowing lights and splashed across the sky for a brief moment, illuminating the area. Just as quickly as it appeared, the ray faded and the glow returned to its original state. Many people watching this footage were quick to claim that this was a UFO, pointing to the mysterious nature of the lights and the sudden flash as evidence of something otherworldly. However, skeptics were less convinced. One commenter offered a more grounding explanation, explaining, "Those are just the high beam lights on top of the building at Bryant Park. Stop it." So is this really an unidentified flying object or just an illusion caused by city lights? Share your thoughts.
There's a UFO in New York City, y'all. Yo, it's a UFO in New York City. Yo, look at the beach. Yeah!
A group of friends was hanging out near the woods one night when one of them, named Matthew, went into the trees to take a quick bathroom break. After some time passed, they expected him to return, but instead, something else emerged from the darkness.
Something is happening, please. Because if this is not fucking Matthew.
Call the cops on your phone.
There's someone talking right
What the hell is he doing?
That's not Matthew.
That's not Matthew.
That's not Matthew.
I know.
As they waited, nervously watching at the edge of the woods, a figure slowly appeared. The night was thick with mist, making it hard to see clearly, but the figure didn't move like Matthew. They couldn't tell who or what it was, but it definitely wasn't acting like their friend. The figure stood there, shrouded in darkness, its presence unsettling. Then, without warning, it raised its hands up and didn't move any closer. The friends, still recording with their phones, kept their distance, unsure whether to approach or run. So what or who could that have been? They didn't say and only uploaded the clip. So what do you think? Was it someone playing a prank, or could it have been something far more eerie lurking in the woods that night?
Because if this is not fucking Matthew.
Call the cops on your phone.
There's someone talking right
What the hell is he doing?
That's not Matthew.
That's not Matthew.
That's not Matthew.
I know.
For the longest time, I always thought that when people were cremated, they were just burnt to ashes, but it turns out that's not the full story. Take a look.
This is what you look like after you come out of the crematorium. You're not ashes. After your bones cool off with this fan, your bones are taken to a grinder, which is over here, that grinds everything up. And then you're turned into that little powder that people call ashes.
It's surprising, right? So after the body is burned, what actually happens is that the bones are left behind, and they don't just crumble into ashes on their own. Instead, these bones are cooled down and then placed into a grinder, which turns them into a fine powder that we typically think of as ashes. I never realized that was how it worked. Honestly, I don't know how to feel about that. It's a bit unsettling to think about, but at least now I know, and the truth is out there. Assuming I was not the only one who didn't know.
Here, that grinds everything up. And then you're turned into that little powder that people call ashes.
What is that? I don't have a candle on.
You have that
Is it lit up?
A woman came downstairs one evening and was startled by what she found. In the corner of the room, there was a strange sight. Smoke, or what appeared to be smoke, was floating eerily in the air, almost as if it was suspended in place. What makes this even more unsettling is that there was no fire or candlelight anywhere in the house. So where did this mysterious smoke come from? The room was otherwise quiet and untouched, with no obvious source for the strange phenomenon. As she watched, the smoke didn't dissipate like ordinary smoke would. It just lingered there, almost as if it was aware of her presence. Was this some kind of paranormal activity, or could it be something else entirely? An unexplained natural phenomenon, or perhaps a message from something unseen?
I don't have a candle on.
You have that
Is it lit up?
Years ago, the brilliant inventor Nikola Tesla developed a device called the magnifying transmitter. For the longest time, this invention baffled scientists who couldn't fully grasp its purpose or potential. Most believed that Tesla intended to use the device to transmit energy through the atmosphere, a concept they thought would be inefficient and impractical. However, a deeper dive into Tesla's research and patents revealed something astonishing. They had it all wrong. Tesla's true vision was to use the device to transmit energy not through the air, but through the minerals in the ground. The transmitter would send energy through the earth, and the receiver, positioned elsewhere, would collect that energy. This method, Tesla believed, would be far more efficient and could potentially provide limitless energy across vast distances. The magnifying transmitter came in two crucial parts: the transmitter and the receiver, working together to achieve this groundbreaking form of energy transmission. Stepping away from wireless inventions, I've got something that's sure to make your wired bits excited. Take a look. Did you catch that? Am I not the only one seeing what looks like a cross between a crustacean and a mammal moving on the roof of that building? Given the frame rate at which the creature or being is moving, I'm tempted to believe it was digitally inserted, since it's very different from the rest of the footage. No, my editor didn't tell me that. Maybe just a little. I'm perfectly capable of figuring some of these things out myself. Moving on from my insecurities, what do you think? If Bigfoot and other creatures from folklore can be real, it certainly makes you wonder what other things we see in movies might have a grain of truth to them. Take this footage for example. A resident noticed something strange happening at her neighbor's house one morning. Perched all over her house were white owls, at least 10 of them. Remember the scene from Harry Potter where owls deliver letters? While the owls here aren't as numerous, it's still eerie to see so many of them gathered like this in real life. It makes you think, doesn't it? What could have drawn them all to this particular house? Could there be something more to it, or is it just a curious coincidence? While you ponder on that, take a look at this. What do you think that is? It appears to be some sort of reptilian creature, but after cross-checking the image with many others and asking around, I haven't been able to find out exactly what I'm dealing with. This has left me thinking it can either be one of two options. The first is that this is some sort of otherworldly creature, and the second, that this is an AI creation. But what's your money on? This next trail cam was captured on a path in the woods. When the owner retrieved the footage, discovered something jaw-dropping and sinister. Take a look at the video. Did you see that? Watch it again. Looking closely behind the trees, there you can see a white shadowy figure moving swiftly through the woods. What could that apparition be? Some kind of ghost or a spirit? Could this be some kind of camera trick? I doubt that because it all looks so real. The very idea of coming across a ghost or spirit is fascinating. Across history, there have been countless reports of supernatural sightings, and stories of ghostly figures are deeply rooted in various cultures. Perhaps those stories are true after all, because, well, how else do you explain this and the countless realistic ghost images we have seen on this channel so far? Next, we have another video clip capturing the curiosity of animals. In this footage, we see a camera being licked by what could be presumed as the legendary creature, Bigfoot. The footage begins with a striking red hue, which sets an eerie tone. As it continues, we witness what appears to be a tongue licking the camera screen, an unexpected sight in Trailcam captures. The uploader claims this isn't the first occurrence and believes he may be dealing with a juvenile Bigfoot playing with the camera equipment. It may sound like a stretch, but what are your thoughts on this? Share in the comments section. With a wild yet very spooky one. Take a look. In the footage, we see a house that's situated in an isolated part of an estate in Scotland. The footage was taken by tourists who were feeling brave and decided that an abandoned house in an abandoned part of town would be a fun place to hang out. In the footage, we see the tourists walking along and recording an eerie-looking house. They aren't bothered because it's supposed to be an abandoned house. That was at least the case until they saw movement in the house. They focus on the window with the movement, and sure enough, someone's there. Not the kind you'd expect, but they're there. The person looks out of the window and they see her or it because it has pale white skin as if it has been dead. It has dark patches around its eyes and maybe a horn. It's hard to say because whatever it is retreats as soon as it realizes it's being discovered. Instead of running from the building, these tourists run toward it, and I can't help but wonder why. But what do you think of the whole ordeal? Tell us in the comments section. For our next capture, we travel back in time to 2017. An image was shared back then, and despite the fact that it's been more than 5 years, it remains a mystery, leaving many with questions that have remained unanswered. Have a look. You see it too, don't you? This image is unlike anything we've ever captured on the channel. The image was taken by a Trailcam set up in the woods. The owner of the Trailcam, which captured the image, was reviewing the interesting pictures his camera had captured when he was shocked to find these unnatural captures. The dark creature, or should I say creatures in the dark, had no discernible body with glowing eyes and what looked like arms stretched out. There appeared to be two creatures as there two sets of eyes. Perplexed and freaked out by what he was seeing, the uploader sent the footage around to the paranormal community hoping for answers, but no one had any for him as they were too confused. Some thought it was a Sasquatch, whereas others thought it might be like a ghost or otherworldly creature. Looking at it, we don't have answers either. Do you? Tell us in the comment section. In this unsettling still image, we're confronted with an enigmatic being, if we may call it that. Its face, illuminated by the faint glow of the camera, gazes directly into the lens, as though peering into the very depths of our souls. The time of the capture, 2 a.m., only adds to the mystery, for what mortal soul would venture into the woods at such an unearthly hour? Indeed, this eerie figure evokes unsettling vibes akin to the haunting presence of Pennywise, the infamous clown from the realm of horror fiction. One cannot help but wonder what could have possibly lurked in the wood on that fateful night. Was it a wandering spirit, a specter from beyond, or perhaps something more elusive and sinister? As we gather around the proverbial campfire of speculation, our imaginations run wild, conjuring myriad possibilities for the origins of this enigmatic figure. Is it an otherworldly entity caught momentarily in the human realm, or could it be a manifestation of something far more sinister, lurking just beyond the veil of our perception? The stillness of the image leaves us yearning for more, a glimpse into the events that preceded this unnerving moment. What do you think that was? Tell us in the comments section. Next, we have mysterious footage capturing an unusual phenomena in the night sky. In the video, the sky displays two distinct tones of color, with one part appearing darker and the other brighter. The location of the incident remains undisclosed. The only certainty is that folks from Northern Virginia and undisclosed places have reported witnessing this celestial oddity. The question on everyone's mind, what in the universe is going on up there? Various theories have emerged to explain the peculiar phenomenon. Some suggest that it might be a rare and unexplained weather occurrence, while others entertain the possibility of extraterrestrial involvement. What do you think this could be? In the dense forests of a remote village in Peru, a peculiar incident unfolded, captured on camera for the world to witness. A tree branch, seemingly severed by an unseen force, fell to the forest floor. One might initially dismiss it as a natural occurrence. The local villagers hold a different perspective. The villagers expressed concern about the mysterious incident, attributing it to potential encounters with beings not of this world. Before this encounter, there had been rumors circulating about extraterrestrial entities with jetpacks ominously referred to as face peelers, roaming the area and sometimes causing havoc. Some sections of the online community that saw this footage, on the other hand, proposed something else. They suspect that the military might be behind this occurrence. According to them, the military may be carrying out covert operations, possibly testing advanced cloaking technologies. What do you think? Could this be aliens or military people testing a cloaking device? And for our third bonus segment, we have a creature that you wouldn't know so easily. Don't believe us? Have a look. Do you see it? Does its appearance not resemble a diver jumping from a springboard into a pool? As impressive and good-looking as that specimen is, what animal do you think this is? Do you have an idea? Then tell us in the comments section and add one rare fact about the animal. Start your comment with bonus footage so we can easily identify it. The most accurate description with the rarest fact will win a feature in our next video. You will become the second person to ever be featured. That's some prestige if you know what I mean. All the best. Next, we have this footage which comes from a subscriber of this page. He believes his Trailcam captured a skinwalker as it was reverting to its human form. Have a look. In the capture, we see a forest area with what looks like a human, specifically a man covered in mud centered in the image. He appears to be moving from the left to the right. Looking at the scenery, it's highly unlikely that anyone would be roaming the area naked without clothes and covered in mud, unless, of course, they somehow transformed from a wild animal to a human. Logically speaking, that sounds weird, but we have seen strange things on this channel and encountered many paranormal beings that make this look like your regular Sunday capture. We're tempted to believe that the one who sent in the image is onto something and in fact is telling the truth. What we don't, however, know is where the image was captured. But what do you think, though? Could it be a skinwalker transforming back to its human form, or are we dealing with a human who was somehow naked in the woods? Could the whole thing be an elaborate hoax as well? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Next, the night sky over Cape Town unveils an enigmatic display as an unusual formation of clouds captures attention. Now, of course, folks start speculating, saying it's a mysterious entity cloaked in those clouds. But let's hit the pause button on the sci-fi thrill for a moment. This is what we call lenticular clouds. Lenticular clouds are lens-shaped clouds that typically form near mountains or other geographical features that disrupt the flow of air. They're not uncommon and are usually associated with stable atmospheric conditions. While lenticular clouds can sometimes appear in unusual shapes and formations, they're natural meteorological phenomena. But then, with all the strange things happening, I'll not be surprised if this is indeed not just a cloud. Having seen it yourself, what do you think? Speaking of aliens, there have been some accusations against the Mexican government that involves them having knowledge about some UFO sightings. In footage captured in the woods, the remains of a miniature alien creature comes into focus. This diminutive being possesses distinctive features, notably a disproportionately large head and small eyes. The discovery raises a plethora of questions. What could have caused the demise of this extraterrestrial entity, and what's the deal with these sudden UFO sightings in Mexico? It's like the aliens decided to spice up their travel itinerary, making a pit stop for some tacos and salsa. I mean, if you love tacos like my assistant Julius does, you wouldn't blame him for choosing Mexico. As the saying goes, not all heroes wear capes, and this footage is nothing but a true example of that. Have a look. This man was driving by the Thomas Fire when he immediately stopped and ran towards the flames. Onlookers took out their cameras to film, wondering what he was doing, when suddenly he grabbed something from the ground. It was a rabbit. The man actually stopped to save the rabbit from the fire. Such a brave superhero. As impressive as the feat is, experts actually advise us not to save wild animals during fires. They state that if the animal wants to go back into the fire, chances are it has babies to recover or its burrow is safe despite how dangerous the fire looks. As conflicting as that might sound, they are the experts after all. If the animal doesn't make it, it's the circle of life after all. But that doesn't take away from the bravery of this man. What say you? Next, we have this footage captured on a trail cam that reveals a photo caught of a creature about to land in the forest. Beautiful, isn't it? The creature in the photo is bird-like and colorful and appears to have been captured mid-air with its flapping wings frozen in a rapid motion. The uploader of the image describes it as the coolest picture he's ever taken. The majestic creature is surrounded by lush, healthy trees that reach skyward, adorned with an abundance of vibrant green leaves. In the footage, we can see the bird with its long legs, white feathers, and a short beak landing where there seems to be a fox. Could that bird-like creature be one of divine origins, or are we simply dealing with the bird's motion creating an illusion of long legs and its feathers appearing colorful due to the play of sunlight? What are your thoughts? Next, we have footage that presents us with a vast expanse of land covered in grass. However, as we examine the scene more closely, we notice something intriguing, if you could call it that. Towards the darker area of the landscape where the illumination is limited, two bright red lights stand out. They don't just look like small dots or lights, they look like eyes belonging to a large creature. Speculation often arises when such mysterious sightings occur, and it's not uncommon for people to associate this with another potential Bigfoot sighting. However, let's consider other possibilities. While many in the paranormal community subscribe to the idea that it's indeed a Bigfoot, when you pay attention to the footage, you see a small animal moving toward the right side of captured footage. The creature is in no rush and moves as though it has all the time in the world. If there was indeed a large creature with glowing eyes, trust me, that small animal would have been running for its life. How then do we explain the glowing eyes in the footage? CGI, AI, VFX? Whichever one fits the bill. The footage is most definitely doctored, and I'd like to believe it was done for clout. I mean, they almost had us too, until we noticed the small moving animal. What do you think of the whole thing? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. If you thought that was bizarre, then I wonder what you will make of this next one. In fact, why don't I just show you? I know it's rhetorical, but I still have to ask, what do you see in this capture? I don't know about you, but there's a striking resemblance between whatever that is and James P. Sullivan from Disney's Monster, Inc. You can't unsee it now, can you? Either way, what creature do you think you see in the capture? The one who sent it in believes it's a Sasquatch. Taking a second look at it, I kinda understand why the person may have said this, but it just doesn't cut it for me. The supposed capture doesn't look the littlest bit real, although you have to admit it's a cool-looking cryptid. If you were to ask me, though, I'd say that this is nothing more than an AI creation. It's just too obvious when I look at it. What about you? In this footage, a brave man stumbles upon a set of enormous tracks leading from the depths of the forest to his very doorstep. He couldn't believe his eyes at the size of these tracks, exceeding that of any human footprints he'd ever seen. Clearly, it was evident that no ordinary human could be responsible for these massive impressions. As the man followed the tracks, he noticed the significant gaps between each print, indicating a creature of considerable size was wandering through the area. This left him baffled, as he ruled out typical animals like apes or gorillas, which wouldn't have left such enormous tracks. So, what could be responsible for these puzzling footprints? The man couldn't help but consider the possibility of the legendary Bigfoot. Could this elusive and enigmatic creature be roaming the wilderness, leaving behind traces of its presence? As we always do, we approach such encounters with a blend of curiosity and skepticism. While the idea of a mythical creature like Bigfoot captivates our imagination, we also keep in mind that there might be other explanations for these unusual tracks. Is it possible that a large and unknown animal species resides deep within the forest, still waiting to be discovered by science? Or could there be a more rational explanation for these prints that we have yet to consider? Tell us what you think. Apart from capturing enigmatic creatures and animals in the wild, trail cameras sometimes capture strange humans who leave the comfort of civilization and venture into the woods to do questionable things. Take a look at this Trailcam image, for instance. It was taken deep in a patch of pines at 7 p.m. Observe this intriguing image closely. It appears to show a person, possibly a mother, carrying a baby with what seems like a pacifier in its mouth. What could they be doing in the woods at this time, and why have a baby with you? Unless for some reason they were lost in the woods, which is understandable, but if not, then why? What exactly could be going on in this footage? Unless, of course, they're not human after all and there's something weird going on. This is one of the weirdest Trailcam footages that I've come across, and I just can't understand the situation here. What do you think could be happening? Still on shadows, take a look at this next one. This footage was taken from a dash cam on a vehicle late at night. The uploader of the footage felt something cross his vehicle whilst driving at night. Although it scared him, he assumed it might be a deer or some other form of animal, as they are notorious for such activities on the particular highway he was on. He got home, however, reviewed the footage, and realized that it was no deer. In fact, it was no live animal at all. It was simply a shadow moving in front of the vehicle at high speed. He had experts look at it to make sure his camera wasn't misbehaving, and lo and behold, it wasn't. He'd actually captured a shadow creature that took the form of an animal. What was it? Well, we really can't tell, but that only makes the encounter more mysterious. Have you ever had such an encounter? Tell us about it in the comments section. We'd really love to hear it. In this video clip, we are presented with a rather unusual sight, an enigmatic creature with a large, reddish-brown and hairy appearance. It appears to be a well-preserved body of an ape-like beast. As much as I'd love to tell you that's an ape, the uploader insists that what you are seeing on your screen is not an ape. It's purportedly a Bigfoot, supposedly killed and preserved in ice. He claims to have discovered it during an exploration and captured the videos. Looking at the footage now, do you agree that's Bigfoot? Next, our focus lies on an intriguing Trailcam capture dating back a few years, which has left us perplexed and curious. Have a look. As we gaze upon the daytime image, we're confronted with a blurred figure, a spectral presence that defies easy identification. The Trailcam, situated on a remote farm, has captured an enigma that has left the most astute minds puzzled. Some have ventured to speculate that this blurry apparition could be a scarecrow, dressed in a brown leather jacket and an old farmer's hat, dutifully standing guard over the fields. However, this theory is quickly quashed, as scarecrows are known to be stationary, and there are no such figures in the vicinity of the Trailcam. Others have suggested that the figure could be the farmer himself, diligently tending to his crops. Yet, this notion is swiftly dismissed by the farmer, who attests that he didn't venture to that part of the farm on the day the image was captured. A riddle within a riddle, it seems. The realm of the unknown, however, does not easily succumb to conventional explanations. As whispers of Bigfoot sightings and strange occurrences resonate in the area, the possibility of a cryptid presence cannot be ignored. The farmer's accounts of missing fruits and small animals add weight to the theory, enticing our imagination towards the mysterious realm of Bigfoot. On a lighter note, whimsical speculation also suggests the presence of Swiper the Fox from the beloved animated series Dora the Explorer, perhaps on a playful quest for a hidden treasure chest. While this notion may elicit a smile, the true identity of the blurred figure remains shrouded in uncertainty. I'd like to know what your thoughts are, though. What do you think we could be dealing with here? Tell us in the comments section. The discovery of human-like tracks in Missouri by a hiker is truly fascinating and may lead to speculation about their origin. The combination of human-like features and a size larger than what is typical for a human suggests the possibility of an enormous creature leaving these tracks. Given the description of the prints and their depth, it's reasonable to consider the likelihood of a large and powerful being responsible for them. One creature that fits such a description is Bigfoot, also known as Sasquatch. Given the various reports of Bigfoot sightings and tracks surfacing from various parts of North America, including Missouri, I can't help but wonder if these creatures are up to something. Could they be plotting? Do we have to be worried? These are questions I can't seem to get out of my head. But what do you think of these discoveries? This particular footage is one I can barely make sense out of. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, just pay attention to the sky. You might first think those are trails left by an aircraft, but after closer attention, you'll realize they actually look like lights circulating. How is that even possible? Let me give you a quick answer. It's not. That's at least if you try to limit your explanation to everyday human occurrences. When you open your mind up to consider possibilities such as alien spaceship in the sky, it all of a sudden makes sense, even if it is crazy. What if those round moving things are actually the base of saucers camouflaged in the sky? Before you call me crazy, take a second look at the footage, think hard, and open your mind. Have you done that? Do you see it? Share your thoughts in the comments section. In this next footage, a man steps out of his house holding a mysterious bag. The contents are revealed to be a camouflage cloth, and as he covers himself with it, an extraordinary transformation occurs. He seamlessly blends into his surroundings. Now think about it. If this is real, it's like having a superhero's invisibility cloak in our hands. Imagine the kind of wild stuff you could do with that. But here's the head scratcher. Where on earth did he get his hands on something like this? It's not like you can find invisibility cloaks at your local store, right? The mere existence of this kind of tech opens up a can of questions. Is this a sneak peek into some top-secret military gear, or did this guy stumble upon some hidden gem of technology? My assistant Aaron thinks our young sir may have picked up a deathly hallow, but if the world of wizards truly exists, perhaps we muggles shouldn't be meddling in it. Don't you think? Yeah, that's a naked man walking through a field in broad daylight. I mean, the person has a face of a man with facial hair and all, but his hair is long and he appears to be wearing a woman's crop top with what looks like a hostler around his waist and a pair of shoes. He also seems to have a walkie-talkie on. Apart from that, you can see his butt cheeks hanging out in the sun. Who is this and why is he half naked? While our first instinct might be to think of a prankster or someone engaging in unusual behavior, we must keep an open mind and consider other possibilities. Could this be an individual who's lost or disorientated, or perhaps they're part of a performance or unconventional artistic expression? There's a myriad of potential explanations that we can explore, but share your thoughts, we'd love to know. Our next capture is an eerie Trailcam image that indeed raises numerous questions and sends shivers down our spines. Take a look. At first glance, the image looks like a person taking a walk in the middle of the night. After a second look, it becomes evident that the figure is wearing a uniform, leading me to speculate that this individual could be on a hunt. Upon closer inspection, however, and you would realize that the figure doesn't seem to have a face. Moreover, it has a ghostly appearance, and that's when it clicks. There's no way a human would have been taking a stroll in the woods that late at night. This definitely has to be paranormal, but what kind? Is this a ghost? A shapeshifter on its way to avenge someone maybe? Or just a lost soul caught on camera? It's hard to say, but what do you think? The mysterious case of the Russian YouTuber who conducted experiments on creating a homunculus using his DNA resurfaced in recent discussions. This content creator made a series of videos documenting his scientific journey, attempting to create small creatures using his DNA and a chicken egg. The intrigue reached its peak with about 19 episodes, after which the YouTuber mysteriously vanished, leaving the online community both shocked and captivated. Some believe that the higher-ups, possibly threatened by his unconventional experiments and discoveries, came for him, leading to his abrupt silence. On the other hand, skeptics argue that the entire episode could be the result of CGI manipulation. But if it was all CGI manipulation, why would he suddenly disappear? Wouldn't it even be easier now to keep it up with all these AIs around? Something just doesn't seem right. As the story resurfaces, however, it continues to be a topic of debate, leaving viewers to ponder the true nature of the homunculus experiment and the fate of the Russian YouTuber. Someone spotted this strange-looking bird going into the woods. It had odd-looking features, and its wings looked like they were broken. It has a long neck with disheveled feathers on it. But what stood out the most was its sheer size. This doesn't look like any bird we know of, and it has the mind dancing with possibilities. Could this be a new species, a feathered anomaly that has eluded scientific classification until now? It's hard to say, but one thing we can be sure of is the fact that our world is home to an incredible diversity of bird species, each adapted to its unique environment. Discoveries of new species, especially those exhibiting distinctive characteristics, fuel our fascination with the natural world. Keep 'em coming, Mother Nature. We love it like that. Many will come with their speculations concerning every Trailcam video uploaded, but let's dissect what's really going on here. In this footage, we see a hairless creature that's apparently sniffing around and searching for food. All who initially saw this footage believed that we're dealing with a chupacabra, and given its appearance, we don't blame them. But is it really one? Some don't think so. They think it's only a mangy coyote, and while we can see where they're coming from, we'd still want to hear your thoughts. What do you see? Let your speculations flood the comment section. Next, we have Trailcam footage for what we still have no understanding. Have a look. According to the uploader of the footage, the trail camera was set up in the woods of a small public park people visit with a little yellow tape around it. Someone walked in and changed it, but here's the kicker. The person was not caught on camera. What do you think we're dealing with here? A skillful vandal or a paranormal being? Share your thoughts with us in the comment section, as we'd love to hear them. In this video clip, we witness a late-night ride with the passenger recording the journey as the car passes through a grove of trees illuminated by an overhead light. However, the drive takes an unexpected turn when the car slows down, drawing attention to a peculiar sight. Among the trees, a dark creature moves. Due to the limited visibility and darkness, it's hard to tell exactly what it is. Many in the paranormal community speculated that it might be a skunk ape. Given the fact that we have little to go on about, it's an impossibility, but there are others who think it's nothing more than a black bear and that the footage was recorded by some park rangers. The video offers a fascinating glimpse of the animal's size and movements, but it's essential to remember that sometimes in low light or unusual conditions, things may appear differently than they actually are. So I have said what I believe it to be. What do you personally think? Next, we have a Trailcam capture from the woodlands that's somewhat blurry. In the capture, however, we see the trees and some leaves hanging here and there with little to no grass on the ground. With all the blurriness and no grass, situation is a black object lying lifeless on the ground. Shape-wise, it comes off as an ape-like creature lying on its back. I'm tempted to think ape or Bigfoot, but perhaps it's simply my paranormal and imaginative brain at work. What do you think, though? What do you see when you look at the capture? I'd like to read in the comments. Next, we have footage retrieved from a security cam. It was taken in the dead of night with no source of light but the camera's IR light. Yet despite that, it captured something truly disturbing. Have a look. Unless there is proof that the flash is real and he's embraced the darkness now, I don't think that there is a logical explanation for this footage. In the stillness of the night, a dark figure zooms from an unknown location into the camera frame. Whatever it is, its smoke made the one whose trail camera captured it believe he was dealing with a vampire. Some viewers shared the same belief, while others speculated it could be a shadow of an animal, perhaps a bird or a swooping bat behind the camera. As much as we want to believe that, the ghostly appearance and supernatural speed of its movement leave us questioning any logical explanation given. What do you think, though? Do you see it? A peculiar, hairy creature with some oddly smooth areas. Typically, when it comes to weird trail cam footage, you can always tell what you're looking at after staring for a while or taking a closer look. But the thing with this is, we can't tell exactly what we're looking at. It's just hair everywhere and a lack of unidentifiable features that would help us decipher this enigma. We tried running it through our database of paranormal creatures, and it didn't fit with any of the descriptions in it. We tried Google Images, and even Google couldn't tell us what it was or what it looked like. So at this point, we look to you. What do you think this capture is? Have you encountered anything like it? Tell us in the comments section, because we'd really love to know. Deers are curious, yet very careful creatures. It's only natural for them to observe unexpected and unknown objects in their environments from a safe distance. Clearly, that's what the doe in this capture is doing. She's noticed the strange light orb and is looking at it. But what at all could it be? Well, if you've been on this channel for long, then you know that the deer is looking at a spirit orb. They tend to become visible during heightened spiritual or paranormal activity. At least, that's what we believe. Is the capture legit, though? We want to believe it is, but there's something offsetting about its looks and body language. I just can't seem to put a finger on it. Perhaps it's just me. If you notice it too, please do share it in the comments section. It's hard to tell what exactly we are looking at, but there's no denying that whatever that is, it looks like what a kangaroo would look like if it had an interest in photography and is capable of smiling. The footage was clearly captured at night in a very dark environment. This makes it hard to discern what lies beyond the camera's immediate area of focus. Despite the uncertainties associated with the image, it's evident that the creature is humanoid. Could it be a previously undiscovered cryptid, or is that merely a normal kangaroo standing in front of a trail camera? Could the odd nature of the image be the result of bad lighting when the image was taken? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Next, we have this strange clip. I don't know if you guys can see, but there's a strange-looking entity floating around. It looks like the jelly-like UFO that has been appearing in the skies lately. And get this, there have been multiple sightings of these jelly-like beings in different places. According to the reports, they just descend from the sky and float around in the dark. The big question is, what on earth could these things be? Are they all connected, or are we dealing with some next-level otherworldly entities just casually chilling in the night sky? Or could it be? Could it actually be that they're mapping our planet? You know what, I'm gonna stop here before I actually figure this out and get abducted. And before we move on to the next clip, what's your take on these mysterious jelly-like night floaters? Tsubami, a Japanese startup, has rolled out a manned robot named Archax, which is designed to accommodate one person.
ことができます。で、基本的に26の関節がありまして、コックピットの中から操縦することが可能。
The hefty device weighs in at 3.5 tons and can reach a maximum speed of 10 kilometers per hour. Inside, there are screens and controllers for the pilot to navigate the robot. The creators believe that these devices have endless applications in disaster relief and the aerospace industry, envisioning Archax as a versatile tool in these fields. With a price tag of $3 million and plans to produce at least 5 of these robots, we can agree that it's a bold step into the future of manned robotics. What's your take on this high-tech creation? Do you think Archax could revolutionize disaster response and aerospace tasks, or is it a bit too futuristic for its own good? All around the world, these spiral patterns can be found in communities designed and built in that shape. They've sparked various conspiracy theories, with some suggesting that they're generating energy or causing some unexplained phenomena. However, the reality appears much more down to earth. One such example is a community that follows the spiral grid pattern. Contrary to conspiracies, the purpose of this design is not to generate energy or induce any mystical effects. Instead, it's a practical and well-thought-out layout aimed at providing residents with certain amenities and features. In these communities, each house is strategically positioned around a central park, creating a spiral pattern. Behind every house, there are golf courses, adding to the aesthetic appeal and recreational opportunities for the residents. The central park serves as a communal space for various activities and gatherings. In recent times, a curious phenomenon has been capturing the attention of people worldwide: mysterious blue beam projections. It raises questions about whether humanity has achieved a level of technological mastery, allowing us to manipulate light in unprecedented ways. In the present footage, a peculiar beam of light descends from the sky onto the Earth, revealing a glowing entity within it. The phenomenon has roots in conspiracy theories and has long been associated with the idea of a simulated reality or extraterrestrial manipulation. Proponents of the blue beam conspiracy suggest that powerful entities, whether governmental or otherwise, possess the capability to project holographic images onto the sky for various purposes, often linked to control and manipulation. While skepticism surrounds such claims, the persistence and recurrence of these sightings have led to increased curiosity and debate. Could what we are seeing here indeed be a blue beam projection, or is there a better explanation for it? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Take a look at this chilling footage from a security camera that reveals a perplexing and hazardous situation. In the video, an enigmatic smoky substance begins to blanket the road, covering the area in an eerie haze. After a while, a car nonchalantly pulls onto the road. Within moments, chaos erupts as the entire area is engulfed in flames. Now, what seems like harmless smoke or fog earlier turns out to be a gas leak. It looks like a tiny spark from the car or somewhere nearby decided to play with fire, literally. Gas leaks are often odorless and invisible and can pose a significant threat when undetected. The sequence of events captured in this video emphasizes the need for vigilance and prompt action in the face of potential hazards. Just a quick reminder before the next clip comes: if you still haven't liked, commented, or subscribed, could you do so right now? You wouldn't want me to send a Bigfoot after you now, would you? In this next footage, we have this lone cloud hovering above a vicinity, and guess what? It doesn't exhibit your typical cloud behavior. No, but this one's doing something strange. It's rotating in the sky and not at the leisurely pace of your regular clouds.
Te hubieras ido por ahí para que lo tomáramos mejor. Para que viéramos exactamente qué es.
With all the UFO chatter buzzing around, some are convinced this isn't just a cloud putting on a show and that it might actually be a UFO in disguise. I'm all for the alien encounter stories, but what do you make of it? Caught on a security camera at a job site, a man vanished into thin air as a bus drove by. One possible explanation involves glitches or anomalies in the camera equipment, creating an illusion of the man disappearing. However, if the footage is genuine and unfiltered, it opens the door to more enigmatic possibilities. Paranormal enthusiasts consider the notion of supernatural occurrences, suggesting the man could be a ghost visiting our plane. Some also state that it could be a mere man somehow manipulating reality. Skeptics, on the other hand, lean toward the idea of the whole thing being an elaborate hoax, with the footage carefully crafted for attention or amusement. Having seen it with your own eyes, which of these possibilities do you think is most likely? Share it with us in the comments section. Just a quick reminder before the next clip comes, if you still haven't liked, commented, or subscribed, could you do so right now? You wouldn't want me to send a snake the size of the one in the next clip after you now, would you? In this intriguing footage, we find a fearless individual holding in his hands a creature that sparks both curiosity and a hint of trepidation, a massive wasp. To be precise, this formidable insect belongs to the species known as tarantula hawks or spider wasps. The tarantula hawk, named for its hunting behavior, seeks out tarantulas to serve as hosts for its larvae. The wasp's sting is known for being one of the most painful in the insect world, causing temporary paralysis in its prey. This particular tarantula hawk, unlike its stinging counterparts, exhibits a remarkable absence of a sting. Very strange. The man, with a mix of bravery and intrigue, cradles the formidable insect in his hands. Do you think he found the insect stingless, or is he the reason for why it's stingless? Share your thoughts. This spectacular event unfolded in Mendoza, Argentina, where a meteor allegedly descended from the skies and crash-landed. When the residents went to check out the site, this is what they found: a smoking rock. When a meteorite impacts the Earth, it can generate intense heat and potentially cause a small explosion upon impact, leading to smoke or dust, as you can see with this one. But one thing that doesn't add up is the absence of a crater. Meteorites typically leave craters when they reach the Earth's surface. The area around this rock clearly looks undisturbed, which makes Julius think it's a fake. Is someone trying to get their 5 minutes of fame, or is there more at play here? Share your thoughts. A man is strolling through the forest, casually filming, when suddenly he spots something that sends him sprinting for his life.
Aujourd'hui. Donc je retourne à la maison.
The creature responsible, not one to be outdone, decides to join in on the chase, leaving the poor man absolutely terrified. Now everything happens so quickly that it's almost like a blur, but when you slow it down, there it is, a pale, almost white creature. It appears to be similar in height or possibly taller than the man. It also has hollow eyes with a mouth wide open. It's got that classic alien vibe. Most alien sightings are peaceful strolls through the woods, but this one, it's got some serious aggression going on. Luckily, the man has some serious sprinting skills. Who knows what would have happened if this extraterrestrial speedster caught up? What's your take on this spine-chilling encounter? Real alien encounter or a well-executed forest fright? Next, we have another one of those forest captures that is sure to leave you questioning everything you know and have accepted about this world. Have a look. The footage you see on your screen currently was captured by a man who was going through the woods on a beautiful sunny day. He was having one of those days when you can't shake the feeling that something otherworldly is lurking nearby, if you know what I mean. He could never shake off the feeling, and he understood once he got to the location he shot the footage you see on your screen. If you pay close attention, you'll notice that there's a dark figure in the center of the footage. Although it's not very clear, the uploader states that there was a tall ape-like beast or creature going on about its business there. Even though the creature hadn't noticed him and he was at a distance, its presence still filled him with fear. The fear he felt the moment he noticed the creature was, however, nothing compared to what he felt when the creature finally stood on its feet. At that moment, he realized that it was larger than he had already anticipated. At that moment, he felt the creature had noticed him, but it paid no attention and walked further into the woods, disappearing from sight. It's hard to authenticate the footage due to its blurry nature from being overly zoomed in. But what do you make of the footage? Do you think this is real? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. If you thought that was weird, I have one that might calm your nerves. Enter Bigfoot. The footage you see has been the cause of many debates. The debates have been on its authenticity. If you ask me, however, the creature or being moving in the footage does not appear to be CGI. The only way this could be fake is if it was a human in a bodysuit. I'm no expert, but that doesn't seem to be the case here, unless, of course, you know some 8-foot humans that are willing to play dress-up in the woods. Even then, I doubt the costume would come out this good, but that's just me. What do you think? A hunter set up a trail camera in the woods to capture game when he retrieved this device that revealed something unexpected. In the clip, we see a police officer cautiously walking through the woods holding his gun in a vigilant position. Shortly after he passed the camera lens, a strange beast appeared. The creature had a height of at least 8 or 9 feet with fur all over its body. Naturally, all who saw it believed it was a Bigfoot. The mystery lies in whether the policeman was hunting down the creature or if the creature was stalking the officer on patrol. With limited information on the footage, all we can do is speculate. What are your thoughts on this intriguing scenario? Something rather wild and interesting. This man was walking through the woods while filming when he unknowingly captured footage of a creature walking behind him. The creature was bipedal and had fur all over. It was furry from head to toe. Critically analyzing the footage, it appears the creature was moving from one side of the forest to the other when it was unknowingly captured by the camera. Fortunately for both parties, it wasn't until the man got home that he realized he'd captured something. It's no doubt that this creature fits the typical description of a Bigfoot. I'm not saying this isn't authentic, but believe me when I say there's no way you'd miss a creature of that size if it was just a few meters from you. Even if you somehow do miss it, I doubt it'll miss you, but what do I know, right? Next, we see an image I never expected to see on the internet. The image you see on your screen was taken from an old slave plantation. In the capture, we see what appears to be a small house in the middle of nowhere. That's not the weird thing, as we see such houses all the time. The strange thing about the capture is the fact that we see what appears to be a ghostly figure in shackles within the building. The being has a whitish skin, and that's as far as it goes. But why would someone put themselves in shackles in an abandoned building somewhere? The law here is they did not. Instead, it's believed that what you are actually seeing is the soul of one of the previous slaves who had been held in the facility. As weird and as wild as that might seem, that's the accepted truth. You might be wondering, is that even possible? Well, the evidence of its existence is what you see in the capture, unless, of course, the whole thing is false. For our next footage, we go all the way to Indonesia for a rather unconventional capture. Don't just take my word for it, take a look. Yes, you're actually looking at some sort of weird-looking giant. This is the first time we've seen this particular footage, and a subscriber here drew our attention to it. According to the original uploader, the creature just showed up at the end of their street and remained still as though it were waiting for something or someone. Looking at the creature, it's much larger and taller than an estimated size we have for Bigfoot, suggesting it's not a Bigfoot. It appears to have a lot of fur and is obviously a humanoid. Does this fit any known cryptid? Well, not one that we are aware of, but as much as I'd love for this to be real, it just doesn't feel like it. I have a strong feeling that whoever uploaded this was trying very hard to mislead us. I think this might have been a statue or something set up in the area where the footage was taken from. Given the fact that nobody is running or screaming in the footage, I'm tempted to think so. Just in case you're wondering what I think about the camera shake, well, I believe it's more fake than the video is. The shake doesn't even look the least bit realistic, but that might just be my thinking. What do you see when you look at the footage? Do you think I'm being overly critical and skeptical? Share your thoughts in the comments section. I'll be reading. You might be wondering what you are looking at, but allow me to explain. This is a supposed patent for a full-body teleportation system. I don't need to explain what this is, right? The document states that this invention is a system that teleports a human being through hyperspace from one location to another using a pulsed gravitational wave traveling through hyperspace. Basically, whoever is responsible for this invention was trying, or perhaps has found a way, to teleport from one place to the other. I went through the document and realized that the patent has been abandoned. Closer scrutiny of the document, you'll realize that the patent was applied for in 2004 by one St. Clair John Q. We did some digging on the individual and realized that he's one person who has applied for many strange patents. It's even scary to mention them since his whole persona is shrouded in mystery. Perhaps in the near future we may do a deep dive on him, but until then, what do you guys think of the patent? This clip has gone viral, and not for the reasons you might imagine. Yes, she's beautiful, if I do say so myself, but that's not the reason she's gone viral. The residence where she believes thinks that she's not from this earth. She wears this white robe wrapped around her body and walks around barefooted. She walks and moves in this eerily automated manner which is so unhuman-like. The residents of the area follow her around asking her questions, thinking she might be an alien. But is she though? Well, there's a subsect of the internet that doesn't think so. They believe she's just attention-seeking, and the residents have bought into her craft and are giving her what she wants. You see the clip too, don't you? So what do you make of it? The advancement of technology has indeed reached a point where the lines between reality and artificial creations are becoming increasingly blurred. This footage from Stan Winston School of Arts showcases an impressive creation, a mechanical dog that closely mimics the movement and behaviors of a real canine. The intricacy of the mechanics allows the artificial dog to move its head and pant in a remarkably lifelike manner. The way it responds to human interactions, such as having its head rubbed, looks almost real. The level of detail and precision in the construction of these mechanical dogs is nothing short of remarkable. As technology continues to push the boundaries of what's possible, we can't help but imagine what people will come up with next. These creations serve as a testament to the convergence of artistry and engineering, don't you think? Now, what do we have here? A fish swimming in the water, nothing out of the ordinary, right? Wrong. Watch as someone picks up the fish and turns it over, and there it is, the horror. The lower part of the fish is grotesquely torn open, an empty void where the entrails should be. The fish, however, continues to swim, prompting a cascade of questions that lead us into the realm of the uncanny. Is it a zombie fish, maybe? We suspect that the fish is dead and has been infected by a water parasite that takes over the mind and body of the host. I believe it's called a hydra. Skeptics think that someone gutted a fish while it was alive and released it. After all, they do stay alive for a few seconds before finally dying, which could be what's happening here. Some, however, think that it's just a toy fish. What do you think? Do you remember the Miami incident where they said there were aliens at the mall? Well, this clip resurfaced online with someone claiming that this is from the Miami incident. In the clip, there are two policemen, one standing and one looking down at whatever that is. Now, the officer is holding a shield that reads, Astronomia Police, Hellenic Police. This is in Greece. It has nothing to do with the Miami alien incident. But then again, if this footage is not edited, what type of creature could that be? Our next clip is what you call a weird and strange one. This clip starts, and we're introduced to this man who puts his hand out, and it starts turning white. Obviously, this isn't normal, but then again, there's not much context to the footage, which leaves us in the realm of speculation. One hypothesis thrown in by the community is the chilling prospect of Raynaud's phenomenon. This is a condition where blood vessels constrict, typically triggered by cold weather. While that might sound intelligent, Googling up the condition will be enough for you to know that this isn't it. Others are tossing around the idea that the man applied a solvent on his hand that affects the skin, leaving it as dry as the Sahara Desert with a little discoloration. Some even state it could be a gas reaction, but even Julius is baffled and doesn't have answers. If our science was as baffled, then I guess I am too. So to the experts out there, does anyone know what might be happening here? Please do share. You can see four men holding down a woman. Now, that might set off some serious alarm bells, but hold off on your judgment until you hear the full scoop. According to them, the woman in question started levitating. Yeah, you heard that right. Levitating, as in defying good old gravity. Before you dismiss it as some street performance gone awry, take a closer look. No strings, no hidden contraptions, just a woman seemingly suspended against the laws of physics. The expressions on the faces of the men holding her down tell a tale of genuine concern. Does that make this real? A woman challenging the forces that keep us grounded. It's kind of the stuff that fuels both skepticism and wonder. Is it a case of supernatural levitation, a glitch in the Matrix, or something else entirely? In the realm of the ocean's embrace, a seemingly routine retrieval mission takes a spine-chilling turn. A man, having dropped something precious into the depths, takes the plunge into the azure waters to reclaim his lost treasure. Little does he know that beneath the surface, an unforeseen danger lurks in the form of a silent and swift ocean predator. As he secures his prized possession, his friends, sensing the impending threat, urgently beckon him to return to the safety of the surface. Ignoring their warnings, our intrepid explorer, driven by curiosity as deep as the ocean itself, dives once more into the aquatic realm to understand the urgency of his friend's pleas. And then the revelation strikes like a lightning bolt. A shark, its sleek form gliding ominously toward him. The footage tantalizingly cuts off at this juncture, leaving us suspended in a moment of suspense, with the fate of the daring diver hanging in the balance. What transpired next in the silent dance between man and shark beneath the waves? I guess we may never know, but seeing as this footage was posted, we can safely state that he's alive and well. Or at least, hope so. A night vision camera in Peru captured this creature. It has an abnormally big head and a slender body. Seeing this brings Megamind to mind, but he's not real now, is he? This, on the other hand, is very real. Naturally, all who saw it thought it was an alien. Here's the million-dollar question. Is this genuine footage of an alien in Peru, or could there be another explanation for this mysterious glowing entity? Skeptics believe they have the answer. It's a hoax. While that sounds a bit harsh, especially to the believers of aliens, I can understand where they're coming from. What's your take on this otherworldly sighting, alien encounter, or is there a more down-to-earth explanation for this glowing enigma? Share your thoughts on this extraterrestrial or not-so-extraterrestrial mystery. So, there's this lake in China that dried up, and guess what? It revealed these mysterious structures that nobody seems to have any record of in the history books. Now, the paranormal community is buzzing with theories about ancient stuff getting buried by nature's grand shuffling, like the Great Floods. As researchers roll up their sleeves for more digging, they're hoping to discover what these structures truly are. But what are your theories? Please do share them. Have you ever been on one of those long family trips? Do you have any interesting memories from them? If you do, I doubt they can compare to what this family captured from their trip. As you watch the current footage, notice the camera's focus on a tree at the center of the frame. Keep an eye on that tree and you'll spot a shadow moving behind it. Do you see it? It doesn't look like anything you have encountered, does it? If you were hoping I'd identify this creature and share its history as we usually do on this channel, I must disappoint you today. We have gone through our archives on cryptids and other paranormal beings, and it doesn't match with anything in our database. We're tempted to think that this is the first time this paranormal being or shadow creature has been caught on camera. Some, including the family that recorded it, have stated it's definitely a Bigfoot, but that's something we just don't see. Do you, though? This camera footage was taken from the entrance of a home where an eerie creature comes into view. Taking a critical look at the creature, it has a head shaped like a light bulb and glowing red eyes. It appears to be maintaining balance with two strong arms by its side. It repeatedly comes into view and then retreats into the darkness. It's hard to say if it's afraid or luring its next and potential victim. What could this be and where could it have popped out from? Is it a possessed doll acting as the landlord of the house when the owners are not present? An evil spirit that has attached itself to the house, perhaps? Many think it's a rake, but I call it fake. I know I rhymed there, but well, that's the game. Maybe I should stop before you call me out for lame dad jokes, but either way, what do you make of it? Check out this mind-boggling security footage from a restaurant kitchen. This guy is trying to warm a meal with a torch, but it doesn't light. Look at what he does next. How is he doing that? This man's lighting fire with his finger to heat the meal. He then shakes his hands after he is done and walks out with a plate of food. What just happened? Is he a mutant like the Human Torch, or is he just firebending? The logical ones think this is nothing more than a hoax, but is it though? I guess we'll never find out. This footage is allegedly from the International Space Station. It captures a peculiar object zipping across the sky. The object in question is shaped like the letter V. this is very different from the strange crafts mostly seen in the sky. Some might throw around the idea of it being a drone, but that thing is colossal. To put it in perspective, it's as big as a passenger plane. Have you seen drones that size? I'm not so sure. So what are we gazing at here? Could it be a genuine, unidentified flying object, or is there a more down-to-earth explanation for this V-shaped space oddity? What if I told you that the paranormal is not the only thing that could make you question all you know about our reality? Maybe I should just show you. Does it not look majestic? The creature on your screen is very much real, and your text today is identifying it. Do you know what species it is? Do you know a rare fact about this particular species? Tell us in the comment section and start your comment with bonus footage so we easily identify it. The most accurate description with the rarest fact will win a feature in our next video. All the best. This footage presents an intriguing discovery made by an intrepid explorer of the wild. The individual sought to investigate unusual tracks, and you won't believe what he discovered. At first glance, these footprints appear to be of human origin, resembling the impressions left behind by a person's feet or shoes. However, upon closer examination and comparison with the recorder's own shoe prints, it becomes evident that these footprints exhibit a unique characteristic: their depth. The depth to which these footprints penetrate the ground suggests a muddy or soft terrain, indicating that whatever creature left them possessed considerable weight or power. Given the profound depth of these footprints and the remote wilderness in which they were found, one theory emerges: the presence of the legendary Bigfoot. Bigfoot, often associated with elusive encounters in forested regions, is a creature that has fueled the imaginations of many. The investigator believes it's a juvenile Bigfoot, given how small but deep the footprints are. I must say that this is a sentiment I can agree with. I know what you're thinking. They're aliens, right? And I wouldn't blame you for thinking that. I mean, look at them go. I doubt we have any aircraft in any known military force that moves like that. So are these really aliens? Well, there are some in our paranormal community that believe we may be looking at drones, but come on. These have to be crafts moving at high speeds, and given the way our human crafts are constructed and the way they move, I believe this is either something experimental or extraterrestrial. But let me know what you think. Aliens, military, drones, or something much more? Stepping away from the spooky clips, check out this heartwarming scene. Here we have a guy playing a game with his dog, and you won't believe what unfolds. The clever pup manages to choose the right bricks and takes home the win. It's a testament to how smart animals can be when they're given the right training. You can just imagine the effort this guy put into teaching his furry friend the ropes. It goes to show that even without sharing our language, the bond and understanding between humans and animals can create some truly adorable moments. Kudos to this dynamic duo. A man and his wife heard their dog barking, which naturally drove them to the spot to check it out.
Danny, come here, bud.
Danny, come here.
Come here, boy.
Now, Danny.
Get away from there.
After a few seconds, they saw a shadow of someone standing in the dark some moments after they switched on the lights. Under the sudden illumination stood an alien being. Its bug-like eyes peered intensely at the bewildered couple, as if probing the depths of their souls with an inscrutable gaze. How did this thing get there, and where did it come from? They assumed that the encounter was one with an alien. I know it's wild and all, but let's keep our feet on the ground for a second. Perhaps there's a logical explanation behind this encounter. Some more digging into details might help us figure out if it's genuine or just a case of the light messing with our heads.
Danny, come here, bud.
Danny, come here.
Come here, boy.
Now.
While on a mountaintop, a woman was filming when she noticed something strange.
You're here.
Her companion's hair was standing straight in the air, and as she passed her hands through the air, there was a low zipping sound like it was electricity. Some have suggested that it could be a sign of an impending lightning strike, a natural phenomenon often associated with the hair standing on end due to the electrical charge in the atmosphere. On the other hand, some also entertain the idea that it might be linked to an energy field or even a portal of sorts. What do you think is more plausible?
Porque María vivió eso una vez menos. Eso se lleva todo.
Y ya le una bronca, y yo ya le Marisa se me perdieron porque estaban por fuera y no las encontraba.
Some women were filming a tornado from a distance, and as you watch, you notice something unusual. The clouds have dipped down to touch the earth in the tornado's dance. Now this is where things get a bit mysterious. There is a glow within the cloud tunnels. It's not your typical tornado viewing experience. Sure, we're accustomed to the ferocious winds and swirling clouds, but a mysterious glow within the funnel adds an unexpected layer to the spectacle. What could be the source of this mysterious glow within the tornado's embrace? Is it a play of light, a reflection, or something more enigmatic? I'll let you decide on this one.
Pepe me llamó.
While sitting on the balcony at night, looking at the neighborhood outside, a woman noticed something strange. Now, it's a bit tricky to pin down exactly what this entity looks like because it's a blur as it zooms by. But here's where it gets wild. When it takes flight, you catch a glimpse of its shadow on the ground. It looks like a really large being with bird-like wings. What creature could that be? Is it a ghost, a manifestation from another realm lingering in the night sky? On the other hand, the description of a large being with bird-like wings brings to mind thoughts of the Mothman, a legendary and cryptic figure often linked to sightings of impending disaster. Could the weird creature in the capture be the Mothman? Aaron doubts it, but what do you think? Now let's take a break and listen to this truck driver's sentiments, which I share.
Man, honestly, I don't even care about going viral. That's the honest truth. I just make these videos to share with you guys stuff that I see as a truck driver. And everybody else is gonna have an opinion, I already know.
Yup. That's exactly how I feel. I mean, I know he said he didn't want it to go viral, but we do, so please hit that like button and comment if you haven't already and share. Thank you. Now here's a peculiar incident captured on the footage. A sizable bird seemingly suspended mid-air above a street. A fireman on a truck attempts to dislodge the bird using a long rod, but the creature remains in an unnatural state, neither falling nor flapping its wings. This perplexing scene raises questions about the laws of physics and nature. Naturally, speculations about a potential glitch in the matrix or the bird being connected to a line have surfaced. But then, the location of this incident doesn't seem like a good place to pull such a stunt, don't you think? More scientific explanation is that the bird is caught in an updraft or wind current, allowing it to hover without flapping its wings. But even that seems like a long stretch. Birds, especially large ones, can utilize air currents to maintain their position in the sky, creating a motionless appearance. Could this be one of such, or are we dealing with a real glitch in the matrix? A jewelry maker had a customer return a ring and ask for some changes because it didn't fit. Now, when the ring was returned, it came along with this strange-looking container. He doesn't know what this thing is, and that's not even the problem here. Take a look at this. When he opens the container, the camera becomes all grainy, but when he closes it, it goes back to normal. What does that mean? Some viewers say that there could be some sort of radiation emanating from the container. What do you guys think? If you haven't already hit the like button, subscribed, or even dropped a comment so far, could you please do so now? It goes a long way to help us make more of these videos for you. Thank you so much. Now, back to today's episode. Our next clip takes us along the borders of Kazakhstan, where a group of individuals stumbled upon a cave that has since been causing quite a stir. Take a look. Do you hear the strange noise coming from the cave? It sounds like a roar, yet it has this electronic mod to it. Take a listen. Did you hear that? Now, name an animal that sounds like that. I bet you can't. Now, what makes this even spookier is the fact that the cave's entrance is sealed tight with massive rocks. Whatever is in there was definitely intentionally kept there. The question is, why? Some think it might be a monster, while others think it might be some secret doomsday weapon. Then there's Julius, our know-it-all, who thinks this is nothing more than a hoax. Personally, I agree with him. But what do you think? This eerie 2006 footage, released by the police years later, unveils a mysterious and unsettling incident that occurred in a forest rumored to be a hotspot for strange occurrences. The unidentified man, driven by motives unknown, ventured into the woods and soon found himself in a dire situation.
Oh God. What?
As the footage rolls, an unseen entity or creature starts stalking the man, emitting bone-chilling, screeching sounds that grow progressively closer.
Okay, I'm not like this. Oh, shit. I can't.
Faced with an unknown and potentially menacing pursuer, the man attempts to escape, but the camera ultimately falls, leaving the fate of the adventurer unresolved. What was chasing him through those haunted woods, and why does the forest guard its secrets so fiercely? Naturally, speculation runs wild, with some wondering if it was a creature of the supernatural, a denizen of folklore, or something else entirely. Having seen it, what do you think this could be? Let's dissect this electrifying footage, a raw capture of the very moment lightning struck a tree near a home. Upon closer inspection, an intriguing element unfolds. The impact of the lightning engulfs the surroundings in a bright light, revealing what appears to be a figure disintegrating in a thin air. Speculations around this occurrence lean toward the supernatural, some suggesting it might be a fallen angel or a demon meeting a dramatic end. Check out this incredible scene at the Sarangani Province Island Beach Resort in Masim, Philippines. A crowd is gathered at the shore. But why? Well, the fishes in the sea were swimming out onto the shore. As you can see, people are loading up large baskets of fish right there. This is very puzzling. Fishes are creatures of the sea, right? Seeing them voluntarily swim ashore is like a fishy version of a red carpet event. It's usually not their style, considering it often means, well, not great things for them. So the big question is, what could have spooked these fishes out of their comfort zone into the land and hands of humans? Still on strange finds, take a look at this one.
That's what I thought it was the first time that I saw this the other day. I mean, it's out literally in the middle of nowhere, under this big oak.
A man found a hole under an oak tree in the middle of nowhere. Curious, he decides to peek in using his camera, and once he does, he discovers a flight of stairs leading further into it. So what does our brave explorer do? He descends into the unknown, and what he finds is downright perplexing. The stairs lead him into a tunnel, surprisingly lit with lights on the walls. You'd think this would be the sign to be cautious and return, but no, deeper and deeper he goes. And the odd thing is, it's just stairs, stairs, and more stairs. The temperature drops as he ventures further until he reaches a colossal ancient-looking door, which is where our clip ends. What could he have discovered? Could it be some sort of facility or something more? Please share your thoughts in the comments section.
Means it's someone.
Lucky. Oh, shit.
And as you can see in this chilling footage captured by a family, shows a massive snake navigating its way from the roof of their house on a nearby trees. The sheer size of the serpent is enough to evoke a sense of awe and fear, especially as it gracefully moves between the structures. Snakes are known for their agility and climbing abilities, but witnessing such a colossal specimen in a residential area is undoubtedly a rare and unsettling experience. As the family's camera captures the unfolding saga, the colossal serpent casually lifts its head, surveys the surroundings with a reptilian nonchalance, and then, brace yourself, begins its majestic ascent to another tree. The video not only showcases the impressive physical capabilities of the snake, but also highlights the potential encounters with wildlife that can occur in unexpected places. If you ever see a snake like this, run and get help. It may be too dangerous to engage it by yourself.
He's quite beautiful, isn't he? No.
Is he?
No, but look at his skin. He is beautiful.
Is he a tree snake?
No.
In this mystifying tapestry of the Mexican sky, an eerie symphony unfolds. Strange trumpet sounds that reverberate through the air, seemingly descended from the heavens themselves. The haunting notes are accompanied by a chorus of creatures as dogs unleash their bewildered barks and birds join in the discordant harmony, creating an atmosphere that tiptoes on the edge of the uncanny. Animals are often considered to have heightened senses, and their responses could be interpreted as instinctive reactions to something beyond human perception, perhaps something ominous and dangerous. The unexplained nature of these sounds prompts a myriad of questions. What could the source of these trumpet-like noises be? Some theories suggest atmospheric or geological phenomena, while others delve into more speculative ideas involving extraterrestrial activity or even paranormal occurrences. What do you personally think, though? If you haven't already hit the like button, subscribed, or even dropped a comment so far, could you please do so now? It goes a long way to help us make more videos like this for you. Thank you so much. Now, back to today's episode. While peering through a clear glass window, a woman noticed something peculiar in the water. She decided to get a closer look and zoomed in with a camera. To her surprise, a group of men were sitting on a table seemingly in the middle of the sea. The sight is baffling. How could such a thing be possible? Some people have suggested that it might be a reflection from the room on the glass window, but this raises more questions than it answers. How could a reflection in a room create such a convincing illusion of men sitting on a table in the sea? Kindly hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Doing so lets you stay updated and allows us to create more videos for you. Thanks for doing so. Now, let's continue with the day's episode. Have you ever come across a rather large bird that appears to be tied up after being prepared? If your answer was no, you might wonder what this is and why it's being prepared in such a way. Upon closer inspection, it looks as though the bird is being drained of blood before being cooked. The size of the bird is quite remarkable, as it's much larger than a typical turkey. Some people speculate that it might be an ostrich due to its size and appearance, but it's difficult to say for sure. Others think it's some goat-bird hybrid, but that doesn't add up. An ostrich sounds more believable at this point. But I'll let you guys decide on this one. What do you think this mysterious bird could be? In recent years, sightings of unidentified flying objects, aliens, and strange orbs in the sky have become more frequent. It's become so common that people are no longer sure what to think when they witness them.
Look! Look at my phone! Look at her moving orbs! Look at this There's fucking aliens! That's not fucking normal! That was the moon! What's happening?
Recently, a man captured footage of a peculiarly shaped glowing object in the sky that appeared after the moon disappeared from the night sky. The video shows the man sounding frightened and a woman in the background trying to reassure him that the object was just a tree covering the moon. The man who captured the video claimed that the object was not like anything he'd ever seen before. He described it as being oddly shaped and glowing with an intense light. His voice in the video suggests he was genuinely scared and unsure of what he was witnessing.
No, there's nothing fucking in it. I've seen this shit before in my life.
Okay, but on there it's not. But if you look over here, look, you can barely see it. Is that the tree branch? Is that actually?
No. No.
Wait, I see it moving. Look. There's a big fucking ton of them. You can see it.
It's not. It's. The moon just fucking disappeared.
However, the woman in the background of the video tried to explain to him that it was just a tree covering the moon and not an alien spacecraft. Who do you think is in the right here?
No, this is... I know exactly what's happening because... No, something weird's happening.
Bigfoots are cryptid creatures that have been a topic of interest amongst the paranormal community for decades.
Haley, wait. That's a bear. Haley, that's a bear. Haley. Dude, that's not a freaking bear. Dude.
In this particular video footage, a couple was spending time in the woods, having fun, and capturing videos of their experience. Suddenly, they noticed something moving among the trees ahead of them. At first, they assumed it was a bear, but as they continued observing, they realized that it was walking upright on two legs like a human and using its arms to push branches out of the way as it walked. The creature was covered in thick, matted hair which appeared to be dark brown color. Its face was obscured, making it difficult to determine any identifiable features. The couple was understandably startled and frightened by the encounter and immediately took off running in the opposite direction. Upon watching the footage, many within the paranormal community believed that it matches the description of a Bigfoot or a Sasquatch. However, there are still others who remain skeptical. Regardless, this encounter is just one of many that continue to fuel the fascination and mystery surrounding these elusive creatures.
Haley, wait. That's a bear. Haley, that's a bear. Haley.
There has been a recent sighting of a perplexing entity in the sky. According to eyewitnesses, the entity initially appeared as a tiny dot in the sky. After a closer examination of the recorded footage, they realized it transformed into an unusual and intriguing shape. The shape of this entity sparked discussions among various groups, with some speculating that it could be an angel. This speculation is based on the descriptions of angels in the Bible, which some thought had a similar appearance to this entity. However, there is no concrete evidence to support this claim, and the true nature of the entity remains a mystery. What do you think of it? This fascinating video has been circulating online, showcasing a peculiar object floating in the sky. The object, which is unlike anything seen before, has sparked a great deal of curiosity among viewers. Some people believe that it could be an interdimensional entity visiting our world, while others argue that it's simply a piece of debris floating in the sky. The video has prompted a lot of debate, with people from all over the world trying to decipher what the object could be. It's a mystery that is yet to be solved, and the possibilities are endless. What are your thoughts on this matter? A security camera captured a remarkable event during a torrential downpour. At first, a sharp whistle-like sound pierces the air, followed by a sudden blinding flash of lightning that produces a deafening thunder. As the lightning dissipates, a strange, eerie red hue appears on the ground, and all the lights in the vicinity go out. It's fascinating to note how the red hue seems to linger on the ground, as though something has been left behind. One commenter on the video speculated that the incident was caused by lightning hitting a transformer. It's an interesting theory, but what do you think? As technology continues to advance at a rapid pace, scientists are exploring the possibility of transferring human consciousness to other bodies to achieve immortality. While this might seem like a distant concept, it's much closer than most of us might think. In a podcast featuring Billy Carson, he explains how human consciousness has already been transferred to robots. Listen.
Transferring animals into a computer, which they did a monkey, 2045.com. Look it up. So the monkey's in the computer, his mind is, but the body's dead. Then by 2010 or 2012, they were supposed to have been able to transfer a human consciousness into a robot. They've already done that. And the United States as well. DARPA has a project called the Avatar Project. In an Avatar Project, they have a symbiotic link from a soldier underneath a mountain somewhere, like in a bunker, connected to a field robot. And it controls it through a mind connection. If the robot is destroyed, of course, the soldier doesn't die. And the only thing that stopped us from transferring consciousness from one brain to another was data storage.
Did you hear that? Soldiers can now remotely control robots that they are symbiotically linked to, even if they're far away. This is similar to the concept seen in the popular movie Avatar, where humans control genetically engineered alien bodies. This symbiotic relationship between soldiers and robots has massive implications for warfare and raises ethical concerns. How do you think the masses reacted? Well, take a look. This development is particularly significant because it indicates that we are rapidly approaching a time when humans will be able to transfer their consciousness to other bodies. While there are many good applications for this, we just can't ignore what the negative ones could be. What do you also think about this? The deep sea is one of the most unexplored and mysterious places on Earth. Recently, a deep-sea camera captured footage of a black, gooey creature at a depth of 6,000 feet. The footage has left scientists and oceanographers puzzled as they're unable to identify the creature and properly understand its characteristics. The creature appears to be a black, gooey blob with no discernible features or appendages. Some speculate that it could be a type of deep-sea jellyfish or a new species altogether. However, without more information, it's difficult to draw any conclusions. One of the main concerns about this creature is whether it poses any danger to humans or other sea creatures, since there is not much information on it. Have you seen anything like this? Care to share your experience? Have you ever been in a situation where you feel like someone or something is watching you? It's a very unsettling feeling that can leave you feeling uneasy and uncomfortable. Now, imagine looking through a broken wall and finding a pair of eyes staring directly at you. The sense of unease and discomfort would be amplified even further. Someone found this eye looking back at them through a wall. It's difficult to determine what kind of creature could be behind this eye. Is it a normal animal or a cryptid that is yet to be discovered? Share your thoughts in the comments section.
Marto Küçüktepe köyünde akşam saat 5:30 sıralarında ben hayvanları otlatırken havadan aniden bir cismin ortaya çıktığını ben
In the skies of the Vardo district of Mus, this was captured. The clip shows a dark object with a human-like body. You can see the shoulders, arms, and legs, but the head is not visible. What could this be? One commenter said it was a drone with clothes on. I guess that could make sense. Another commenter said that this was a flying Bigfoot. I mean, look closely. This thing has thick arms and legs. A sassy commenter also said this. Oh, look, another video of a balloon-like object moving in a balloon-like way. Another also called it a balloon as well. It's almost like these guys knew what I was going to say and said it, but seriously, what do you guys think this is? Have you ever looked at a child and thought to yourself that they're not as clueless as we make them out to be? Well, if you haven't, this next clip might just change your mind.
Honey, there's nobody in the tree.
Up there.
You can see somebody?
Yeah.
Are you sure? I don't see anybody, honey.
I see a girl.
You see a girl?
Yeah.
Oh, is she okay?
Yeah.
What's she doing?
On her tummy. It's Dad.
As you can already tell from the clip, this woman parked her car by a tree with a child in the back seat. The child kept pointing to the tree and claimed to see a girl on the tree who had died.
Dad.
Honey, I don't think there's a dead girl in the tree, baby. There's nothing in the tree.
It's Dad. Look, see? I see it. It's Dad.
What? The tree is dead?
No. A girl's dead.
Why do you think there's a girl dead?
Despite the woman's best efforts to find this girl or any sign of a presence, there was nothing or no one around on the tree. Naturally, this upset her a little, which is why she recorded and uploaded online to search for answers. Naturally, the discussions and arguments were all over the place with this clip. Some people called it a gift, while others stated that this kind of thing was natural with kids. Someone even shared a story featuring her son. Kids see ghosts. My son, when he was 2, asked me, "Who's that guy?" and pointed in our hallway. My husband was out of town at the time. I asked him if the guy was scary, and he said no, but I do believe he was seeing something. Another also shared her own experiences as a child. When I was 6, I saw an old man with a hat standing on the porch looking through the sliding glass door. At night, I screamed and my parents ran into the bedroom to find out why the man disappeared. Later, they received a call that Grandpa passed. As interesting as these sound, not everyone believes in these encounters. One comment suggested that it was just a figment of the child's wild imagination. While it's true that children have an active imagination and are prone to make up stories, these encounters are all too evident to ignore. After all, there's no smoke without fire. But what do you think? Did this child see something, or was it just a figment of their imagination?
Dad.
Honey, I don't think there's a dead girl in the tree, baby. There's nothing in the tree.
It's Dad. Look, see? I see it.
While on a plane, someone filmed the sun setting. Take a good look at it and you'll realize it's not at all very normal. To start with, the sun was pink, which is a sight to behold. It's quite common for the sun to appear pink or even red during a sunset. This happens because the Earth's atmosphere acts as a filter, scattering the blue and green wavelengths of light and allowing the longer wavelengths like red and pink to pass through more easily. The colors you see during sunset can vary depending on the location, weather, and time of year. For example, if there are a lot of pollutants or dust particles in the air, the sun may appear more orange or even brown. And during the winter months, the sun can appear more pink or purple as the angle of the Earth's tilt changes and affects the way the sun's light passes through the atmosphere. While the color is an interesting one, you must agree that the sun sets in a rather unconventional way. It's almost as though it's disappearing into the earth. What do you guys make of that? Take a look at this video and share your thoughts on what you see. The footage shows an intriguing sight that has sparked a lot of debate. At first glance, it appears to be something wriggling on the surface of the water, but upon closer examination, it becomes clear that this mysterious object has wings that are flapping as it hovers just above the water before taking off to perch on a nearby tree. The object in question is white and long, and it's unclear what it could be. Some people believe it's a small bird that's gotten tangled up in plastic, while others suggest it might be a rubber worm. However, the fact that it can fly seems to rule out the latter option. Another theory is that the object is a bird that has just captured something from the water. It's fascinating to see how people are interpreting this video in different ways. What are your thoughts on what this object could be? Speaking of strange humanoid creatures, a subscriber sent this next one in. While the original post stated this was a mythic humanoid, that is, a mythological creature that's only part human, the subscriber believes it's simply human and nothing else. I've reviewed the clip several times, and I must say that while it does have a strange appearance, it might simply be a human and nothing else. The clip may have been edited, or he or she may be wearing a costume. That might account for the strange look. Beyond that, I don't see anything paranormal happening unless, of course, I'm under the power of this mythic human and it's making me say that to hide its identity. What do you think? Not everyone believes in paranormal events or entities. I'm pretty sure a number of you watching this video might also share the same sentiments. But how do we explain this? This incident took place around 3 a.m. when a motorcyclist was on his way home. A person suddenly appeared out of nowhere in the middle of the highway he was on. Naturally, this startled him, but just before he could properly react, the individual just disappeared. Fortunately, the rider managed to keep his composure and didn't panic. That could have resulted in a tragedy. While it's true that tech can be used to create convincing fakes, many doubted this was fake. They believed it was the real deal. Take a look at some of the comments. Several viewers claimed that this incident took place in the Philippines. Some even stated that they had seen it on television. Some went as far as analyzing the clip and stating that there were two, not one, individuals in the clip. But what do you see, and do you believe that this is indeed a ghost encounter or just a hoax? While sitting at the edge of a swamp, an observer noticed a peculiar creature emerging from beneath the surface. At first, the creature was difficult to make out, but as the observer zoomed in, they could see that it had two long fangs protruding out of its mouth, making it look like the sharp teeth of a saber-toothed tiger. The creature swam with ease, effortlessly moving through the water and making hardly a sound. Its face had a menacing look that could give you nightmares for years. What kind of creature could this be?
What the hell?
Just as we got the pride blanket out.
that too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird.
It's for pride.
In this intriguing footage, a group of people captured a fascinating patch of clouds in the sky. The clouds were colorful and rainbow-hued, which made for a striking sight. It was a unique and beautiful phenomenon that left many people in awe. The cause of this phenomenon, however, remains a mystery, and naturally, there have been several theories trying to point out and explain what may have caused it. Some speculation that the rainbow-colored clouds could be a result of chemical pollutants in the sky, which could reflect the light uniquely. Other experts suggest that this could be a natural occurrence caused by the refraction of sunlight through ice crystals in the clouds. Regardless of the cause, this rainbow-colored cloud formation in the sky is an impressive sight to behold. Wouldn't you agree?
That is amazing.
The gays are jumping out.
Now, what do we have here? Before you scream alien or cryptid, you should know that this is someone's arm with body modification. It's insane or cool, depending on what you're into. The strange bumps running along the arm almost resemble the vertebrae of a spine, don't they? And that massive X marking on the back of the palm? People do go crazy about these things. Are you one of them? And would you try this? Let us know in the comments section. Speaking of strange things, take a look at this clip. What do you see? Hard to tell, right? A subscriber sent this in, and we've been trying to decipher it since we received it. Some members of the team think it's a spider, but can spiders move their eyes like that? Others think we might be dealing with something alien. Based on the lack of availability of evidence and its lack thereof, I'm tempted to side with this assertion. The individual who sent it in doesn't know what it is either and refused to tell us where the clip came from. Let's treat this as a bonus clip. Who can find out what this is as well as where it came from? If you can and we can authenticate it, then you get the opportunity to be featured in our next clip. What do you guys say? Start your answer with the word bonus so we can find it easily. While exploring the waters, someone stumbled upon these two intriguing fish. They were pitch black and had a peculiar growth on their head that resembled a brain. Wondering what this fish could be? Well, these little guys are called the black Aranda goldfish, and the brain-like growth on their head is called a fleshy wen, which is a characteristic feature of this fish species. These magnificent beings are a highly sought-after variety of goldfish that have a distinct charm due to their black coloration and unique head growth. The black Aranda goldfish is renowned for its gentle and peaceful nature and has become a beloved pet of many aquarium enthusiasts. On second thought, I think this is slightly different from the black Aranda goldfish. Have any of you owned or seen one? What do you think? Remember my talk about living in a simulation with glitches? Well, here's another. The clip starts off like your everyday not-so-extraordinary clip. A few seconds in, and it becomes apparent that things just don't add up. First off, not all the animals have shadows, and as the pups are playing, one runs into another one of the pups and just disappears on impact. It's almost as though it was being absorbed, which should not be possible. I'm not a science genius, but I'm pretty sure that's not how physics works. Anyways, what's your take on this? Please share your thoughts in the comments section. In this footage, you can see a jet pilot pouring water into a cup and drinking it while the craft goes around, but the air never spills. How is this possible? Well, this is because of three main reasons. Firstly, as the aircraft moves, it creates a force called centripetal force. This force pushes the water toward the bottom of the cup, helping to keep it in place even if the cup is tilted or upside down. Secondly, water has a property called inertia, which means it wants to keep moving in the same direction as the aircraft. So even if the cup is tilted or turned upside down during the aircraft's maneuvers, the water stays inside because it wants to follow the aircraft's movement. Lastly, there's something called surface tension on the water's surface, like a thin skin that holds the water molecules together. This surface tension helps to keep the water in the cup, especially when the cup is tilted or inverted. With all these factors combined, the water stays put in the cup even when the aircraft is pulling off tricks, allowing the pilot to enjoy their drink without any spills. Either that or the clip is fake. Which is your money on? Still on the strange and weird, take a look at this clip. This video was posted online featuring a rather strange and mysterious creature. The creature appeared to have tentacles that were moving about as it floated in the air. The person who posted the video claimed that it was a leviathan, but people were not convinced. Take a look at some of the comments from the original post. Most people believed it was just a kite due to the varying shapes and sizes kites can come in. Another theory was that it was a weather balloon, but we're not exactly sure if there are weather balloons in this shape. Despite the many skeptics, some remained convinced that the creature was indeed a leviathan. For those who don't know, the leviathan is a mythical sea creature with tentacles. If we're going to be accurate to the lore, I'm not exactly sure it can fly, but hey, this is the 21st century where anything can be possible. So what do you think? Take a look at this picture. A man captured his foot in the prints made by a creature. Guess what creature it is? While Sasquatch is known for its large footprints, the track captured in this picture appears to be even bigger than that. It appears to have been made by a Kodiak bear, one of the largest species of bear in the world. Kodiak bears are native to Alaska and are known for their enormous size, which can range from 800 to 1,500 pounds and can stand over 10 feet tall when on their hind legs. Their footprints are among the largest of all land animals, measuring up to 14 inches in length and 8 inches in width. So it's no surprise that the track captured in this picture is truly impressive and likely made by a Kodiak bear. I know you're waiting for the next clip, but my new friend Bigfoot asked me to ask you if you've liked and subscribed yet. If you haven't, please do so now, or I'll send him after you. A cat with wings. It's so fascinating and strange at the same time. The cat has grown a pair of what appear to be wings on its sides. The wings were small in size, with a furry texture that perfectly matched the fur on the cat's body. It was as if the wings were a natural part of the cat's anatomy. But since when do cats have wings? I wonder if some kind of genetic modification might be at play here. It's possible that the cat's DNA was altered through some kind of experimental breeding or gene therapy. Skeptics doubt that the wings on the cat are real and believe that they're just accessories that have been attached to the cat. They speculate that the wings have been customized to match the cat's fur because they fit so perfectly. But what do you think this is? A mutant cat or a cat in a costume? Our next clip takes us all the way to Mexico, where a farmer made a startling discovery: a small, humanoid creature that appeared to be completely dried up. The creature was in a fetal position with a pair of arms and legs. Although it was only a few inches long, the shape of its skull was quite large, which led to much speculation. Some people believe the creature was an aborted or miscarried fetus due to its small size. Others have suggested that it could be an alien. Some claim that the creature was an extraterrestrial being that had somehow ended up on Earth. And some think that the creature was a duende. For those unfamiliar with the term, in Mexican folklore, duendes are small mischievous creatures that are said to inhabit the wilds of the country. They're known for their distinctive physical features, which include oversized heads and limbs. Despite much debate and speculation, the true identity of this thing remains a mystery. Having seen it yourself, what do you think it is? This final clip is one of my favorites. Enjoy. Two pedestrians were about to cross the road, each person standing across from the other on the side of the road. The car taking the footage stopped for them to cross. Before anyone could understand what was happening, the older-looking pedestrian quickly scooped up the child and ran to the other sidewalk. In a split second, we know why. Another car overtakes from the side at high speed. The child might have died had the pedestrian not acted quickly. That was a close one. It's great to see people still put their lives on the line for those who need it. This next incident has unlocked a new fear in me. It involves a snake that was found in a toilet, and it's unclear how the snake managed to get there. Some speculate that the snake may have climbed into the toilet, while others believe it may have come up through the drains. Unfortunately, the exact cause of the snake appearance remains unknown. When the homeowner discovered the snake, they immediately called for help. A group of uniformed men arrived at the scene and attempted to remove the snake. However, the reptile seemed to be stuck, and the men were unable to extract it from the toilet bowl. As a result, they had to remove the entire toilet before they could finally remove the snake. Oh, the thought of a snake appearing in such an unexpected place is enough to make anyone double-check before using the toilet. Have you ever had such an experience? Share it with us in the comments section. In recent times, there has been a rather peculiar phenomenon observed in the sky. Witnesses have reported sightings of a bright ball of light appearing out of nowhere, followed by a strange stroke of light emanating from it. The stroke of light seems to be highly intense, almost as if it is being projected towards a specific location. In one instance, the stroke of light was observed descending towards the Earth's surface. The nature of this phenomenon is still unknown and has left many people wondering if it is a natural occurrence or if there is something more sinister at play. Scientists and experts have yet to come up with a definitive explanation for this mysterious occurrence. Some have suggested that it could be a result of atmospheric conditions, while others believe that it could be related to extraterrestrial activity. What do you think this could be? Humans are known to engage in thrilling activities that push the boundaries of their comfort zone. However, sometimes these activities can be extremely risky. For instance, consider this incident where a group of individuals on an ocean adventure filming their experience suddenly came across a large fish with its dorsal fin protruding from the water. The creature was quite aggressive and began chasing their boat at high speed, creating a scary situation for the individuals involved. Despite the danger, the group managed to maneuver their boat skillfully and escaped unharmed. Similarly, another group of individuals embarked on a boat ride in a forest by a river, hoping to enjoy the beauty of nature. However, their adventure took an unexpected turn when they spotted a large bear standing on the riverbank. As soon as the bear noticed the boat, it began to run after them, causing a wave of panic among the individuals on the boat as the bear was gaining on them. Fortunately for them, they managed to steer the boat away from the bear and reached the safety of the shore. A close call by all standards. Imagine going on an open sea adventure and running into something like this. This was captured by a surfer while on an island. He thought he was out to surf, but the ocean had different plans. But what are these things? Obviously, we can tell they're huge and look fluffy under the water's surface. Well, it turns out that they're South American sea nettles. They're a type of jellyfish found in the Pacific Ocean near South America. They're known for being pretty big and have long tentacles and a bell-shaped body. Even though they're large, these jellyfish usually don't hurt people, even if they sting. While this might sound like an invitation to get close to one, it's still smart to be careful and not touch or swim near them. An intriguing event was captured on camera by an unknown person. From the footage, we see a strange light suddenly appear in the clouds, and just as quickly as it appeared, it disappears. Upon closer inspection, the light seemed to be emanating from a craft of some kind, which was not visible to the naked eye. The light appeared to be hovering in the sky and then vanished in the blink of an eye, leaving many to wonder if it could be a case of a cloaked UFO. The incident has sparked a great deal of discussion and debate among those who believe in extraterrestrial life and UFO sightings. What's your take on the clip? During a horseback ride in the woods, a group of men came across a mysterious creature. The creature was small in size, but it had dark fur and a long furry tail. As they approached, the creature hid behind a leafy plant, making it difficult to see its features. Suddenly, without warning, the creature leapt out from behind the plant and attacked one of the men on the horses. Observers speculated that it could be an anteater, given its long snout. However, we couldn't be sure, as the creature's appearance was unlike anything they had seen before. What say you guys? Someone captured this strange-looking creature in the woods. At first glance, it doesn't look like any creature we've seen, but the one who uploaded it insists it was a chupacabra. For those unfamiliar with it, the chupacabra is a legendary blood-sucking dog-like creature that's infamous for attacking livestock. Its name means goat sucker, as it was first reported attacking goats in Puerto Rico in the 1990s. Members of the paranormal community were, however, quick to point out that the creature was a guara or maned wolf, an actual species found in South America. Comparing the picture of the wolf and the creature, they do bear similarities in their long legs, ears, and tail. However, the creature in question looks sickly and appears to be missing its fur, giving it a grayish appearance. This could be due to a variety of reasons, such as malnutrition or disease. As for whether it's a sickly maned fox or a genuine chupacabra, I'll leave it up to you to decide. The Dogman is a creature that has been the subject of many myths and legends for centuries. The creature is believed to be a hybrid between man and dog, possessing the physical attributes of both species. Sightings of this creature have been reported all around the world, but they're often dismissed as mere hoaxes or misidentifications. However, this recent sighting has caught the attention of many people. A street camera captured footage of something moving across a highway. The creature was moving on all fours, but its appearance was not necessarily canine or feline. Or rather, we couldn't tell because of how blurry the footage looked. It quickly went viral on social media, and some believed that the legendary Dogman had been caught on camera. The sighting even made it on a local television news, which further fueled the fascination surrounding the mysterious creature. Despite the widespread interest in the sighting, there's still no concrete evidence to prove that's the Dogman. But what do you think? Would you release a dinosaur into the wild if you had one? Well, my answer will most likely be no, but this dude is no ordinary person. We don't know how, but he appears to be in possession of a pet dinosaur. If you were to ask me the oddest thing a person could keep as a pet, a dinosaur would be the last thing on my mind. Not because it's not odd, but, well, because it's the last thing you would expect anyone to keep. Also, they're extinct, which makes this piece of footage even more surprising. How do you think he got himself a dinosaur? Do you sometimes feel that the universe we live in is not real? Does it sometimes feel like we're all living in a computer simulation like the Matrix? If you've experienced these feelings and thoughts, you aren't the only one. Thousands have felt this way, and our next clip is one of the reasons people believe it. The footage shows what appears to be a tree floating from the forest towards a town. Initially, people thought it was an edited video, but upon closer examination, the shadow of the tree on the ground indicates that it was a real occurrence. This raises the question of how a tree can float like that. Was it a mistake, or was it something supernatural like a possessed tree? There is still a lot of speculation about what could have caused this phenomenon. Some people suggest it might have been caused by a strong wind or a freak accident, while others propose that it could be a supernatural occurrence. Whatever the case may be, this incident has left many people scratching their heads, wondering if there is more to our world than meets the eye. I know what you're thinking. Monster. Would you believe me if I told you that this was actually real? This is a frilled shark. This unique-looking creature is often referred to as a living fossil because its physical characteristics have remained largely unchanged for millions of years. The frilled shark is a long eel-like body that can reach up to 2 meters, 6.5 feet in length. Its flat head is equipped with rows of tiny needle-like teeth that are perfectly suited for capturing prey in the deep ocean. The shark's most distinctive feature, however, is its gills. They're frilly and resemble lace, giving the creature its name. Wondering why you don't see this often? Well, the answer is simple. Frilled sharks are typically found in deep ocean waters, living in depths ranging from 200 to 1,500 meters, 660 to 4,920 feet. They prefer to reside near the edges of continents and in underwater canyons where they can hunt their prey, small fish, squid, and other deep-sea creatures. These sharks are not often seen by humans due to their deep-sea habitat, but when they are, they're truly a sight to behold. Wouldn't you agree? Now, I know you're probably wondering what we've got here, and you would be right to do so. I know nature has a lot up her sleeves, but this is something else. The creature appears to be a lizard with a body as long as a snake. As strange as this thing is, it turns out it's really out there. There's a whole species of lizard out there that looks like this. They're referred to as an Asian grass lizard. They're a species of long lizards found in parts of Asia like China, Japan, Taiwan, and Vietnam. They're known for their long, snake-like body and tail. They like to live in grassy places and prefer to catch and eat bugs, thankfully. They're usually calm and shy, running away from trouble instead of fighting, which is good to know. A part of me wanted to declare this as CGI until I did the research. Turns out, not all strange and blurry pics online are fake. Who knew? Next, we have drone footage from an unnamed rural area. The footage starts off as one of those documentaries from the rural areas, but soon enough, we realize it's not. As the footage plays on, a peculiar and unsettling sight unfolds. At the entrance of what seems to be an old deserted shack in the middle of nowhere, we spot a pale and ghostly figure crouched on the ground, seemingly engrossed in some activity. The nature of this activity remains shrouded in mystery. Moments later, this enigmatic figure becomes aware of the drone's presence and proceeds to exit the shack and move towards the compound. As the figure draws nearer, we can discern that its appearance is both human-like and disfigured, evoking eerie and unsettling qualities. Some refer to this kind of being as a rake or a skinwalker, often associated with otherworldly creatures or even extraterrestrial entities. The questions that emerge are numerous. What might a creature of this nature be doing in a town setting? What could its intentions be in this particular part of town? The footage leaves us with a perplexing and unsettling enigma. As much as I'd love to believe this thing is real and genuine, a part of me believes. No, a part of me knows that this is definitely a hoax. The coincidences are just too numerous, and also, the being looks like it might be a human pretending to be something else. We continue our exploration of the mysterious, this time in the skies over Miami, Florida. During a boat ride, a keen observer noticed an anomaly within the cloud formations, one specific cloud exhibiting unusual behavior. This particular cloud moves swiftly back and forth across the sky, appearing and disappearing with remarkable speed. This raises a host of questions. Is this just another case of advanced cloaking technology, or could it be a part of a covert government experiment? Alternatively, is there a more down-to-earth explanation for this peculiar phenomenon? In the realm of ufology, yeah, there actually is such a thing, theories often emerge when unexplained aerial phenomena are observed. The idea that the cloud-like movement could be a result of an aircraft intentionally cloaking itself from the human eye typically raises questions about our security and if the government is in on these occurrences. However, in the pursuit of understanding such phenomena, it's crucial to consider more grounded and earthly explanations. Atmospheric conditions, wind patterns, and optical illusions can contribute to the appearance of anomalous cloud formations. Meteorological phenomena such as wind shear or differing air currents at various altitudes may give the impression of clouds moving in unexpected ways. However, since none of these theories can be confirmed, we're still left to wonder what this could be. During an anim convention, someone noticed a quite peculiar stand. Yup, that's the FBI. You might be wondering why on earth the FBI set up shop at an anim event, right? Well, here's a wild thought. Maybe they figure a lot of brain power and talent are packed into those anim-loving brains. Smart people can be into anim too, right? It's like blending two worlds you never thought would collide, anim lovers and the FBI. Who knows, maybe they're on a quest to recruit the next generation of super sleuths with a love for all things animated. What's your take on this unexpected crossover? Next, we have a capture that's not necessarily a trail cam, but one that's equally interesting regardless. If you've been to the wild, then you're familiar with coming across trees animals have rubbed on. I mean, cats do that in our rooms, but that's just scratching. What do you do when you come across one that's over 6 feet high? Well, you start wondering what creature was large enough to do so. If you pay attention to the one in the middle, it's different from the rest. Moose do this to get rid of the velvet that covers their antlers, but can you think of how large the moose that did this was? If you have some hunting experience, please bless us with knowledge in the comments section, as we'd love to read. Often at times, we assume animals don't have a mind of their own and that they may never notice a trail cam setup. In this footage, we see a black bear approximately a little less than 6 feet tall watching the trail cam while on all fours. The footage captured the black bear gallivanting through the woods during the nighttime. The bear approaches the camera with glowing eyes, seemingly intrigued by the discovery. Although animals do this all the time, I'm not convinced that we're dealing with an animal. Notice the odd orbs around the creature. If you've been on this channel for long, you know they represent the supernatural, and the uploader of the footage believes that bear might actually be a spirit bear exploring the forest. Some believe that these orbs adjust the function of light falling on the trail cam, but that's hard to confirm. What do you think could be happening here? Still on our streak of strange things, we have another footage you will want to see. This footage was taken by an individual who was out of their home with his mom during a storm. We don't know the exact circumstances that had them out long enough to have been caught in a storm, especially when they were in a structure so close to their home. This drone capture is from a vicinity mostly made up of a large plantation with grass in different stages and shades of their colors. If you pay attention further to the north, you'd see the grove of trees in many different lengths, all visible as the sun shines. It's all green grass and tall trees until a dark figure is seen in front of two white pillars that looks like a gateway between Earth and another world. The being is walking without a care in the world. Although we see a dark creature et al., it possesses a human-like gait when it walks. Here's where things get weird. No humans were expected to be in the area where the footage was recorded at the point it was. In fact, think of it more as an abandoned area with little to no people traversing it. Yet we see this tall, dark figure seemingly taking a stroll. This begs the question, what is it? A Bigfoot or a man in a suit? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Oh no, this is just heartbreaking. The owner of the trail cam must have been excited to check out the wild animal footage, but instead they stumbled upon this heart-wrenching image. In the photo, there's a dog with its head stuck in a container. Can you imagine how scared and helpless that poor pup must feel? It's likely a stray dog just trying to find some food in someone's trash, but things took a terrible turn when its head got trapped in that container. It's heartbreaking to think that the dog is probably struggling to eat or drink with that thing stuck on its head. And what's worse, the container has been on for days. Can you imagine how hungry and thirsty that dog must be? I only hope and pray that the container isn't airtight, or else the poor thing could be in even more danger. The owner of the camera tried to find the dog and help, but no luck so far. I can only hope and wish that someone out there found this sweet pup and gave it the care and love it deserves. It breaks my heart to think of that poor dog suffering all alone. Let's keep all our fingers crossed and send positive vibes that someone came to the rescue and gave this furry friend a second chance at a better life. Would you dare enter a cave that had this sign posted at its mouth? A man went exploring near a cave and stumbled upon something chilling. The cave's entrance led down into water, and there he found a stark warning sign. The sign read, "Stop, prevent death, go no further." Beneath this, it continued with an even more unsettling message. More than 300 divers have died in caves like this. The sign went on to caution about the extreme dangers lurking within. What could be inside this cave that warrants such a dire warning? Well, caves like this are often filled with treacherous underwater passages, dark, narrow, and disorienting. Even the most experienced divers can lose their way, run out of air, or become trapped. The risks are so severe that these warnings are placed to save lives. But beyond the physical dangers, what else might lie in the hidden depths of this cave? Could there be otherworldly figures lurking down there? Something that adds, no, thrives on the ominous aura of this place? You tell me. And with that, we end today's episode. Thanks for staying with me and my croaky voice. Oh yeah, before you go, with our clips and videos you think we should have featured by now that we haven't? Well, the good news is you can share them with us and we'll post them crediting you. Please send any such footage, including ones you recorded yourself, to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing and include it in our next episode. We can't wait to receive what you have. Share this video with someone you love, and I'll see you in the next one.